backdrop of the Green Mountains welcomes us to Smugglers Notch Resort and playoff season. Additional points are on the line as all mountain trails lead to the Tour Championship. Today, we start the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs presented by Barbasol. Players making their arrivals. All the stars are here, of course. Kyle Klein, along with Albert Tom. The Bazooka is in the house. Anthony Barella, front row seat to the action. So cool, he's got to wear shades, of course. Simon Lizotte, Kevin Rathbun, Paul Macbeth, Calvin Heimberg. Jason Ford just coming off the course, and we're checking in with world champ Greg Barsby on the 18th and closing out his round with a birdie. Over on 8, we've got Ezra Robinson. Picking up the birdie there. And he is off to a hot start, a perfect start that is. 8 for 8 for Ezra Robinson. Welcome in, everyone. Terry Miller joined alongside major champion Nate Sexton and 3-time world champ Nate Doss. We're here. We're in Jeffersonville. We're at Smugglers Notch. Gannon Buhr is trying to close out a pretty big season. Others are chasing him, of course, but it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. And we've got to talk about what Gannon and what else we've seen this season.
He's been incredible. I mean, a lot like he was last year. I think the major difference for me, speaking of chasing down the playoffs, Gannon was chasing something too, and it was becoming world champion, and it was becoming the #1 rated player of all time. Check and check.
Yeah.
So he now, I feel like, is comfortable in his own skin as the unquestioned #1. He's having a dominant season, opportunity to do something really special.
Yeah, I mean, right, last year the best putter. This year he's added on the best driver as well. And, you know, really you think about it, like you said, he's got the world championship. He's the #1 rated, ranked, all that stuff. But really it's now what he's trying to do this season. He's trying to surpass himself from last year. It was a completely dominant season, one of the best we've ever seen, and he's trying to outdo himself this year. These next 4 events from here through the Tour Championship for Gannon Buhr are going to be critical if he wants to surpass last season.
This -16 round last year, one of the best we saw all season in 2024. He was just not capable of missing a shot that day.
Yeah.
His workout plan just is hoisting trophies. He doesn't have to go to the gym. The guy just has to hoist the trophies week in and week out. And as you guys were just talking about the seasons that we've seen and looking at last year's record that he had of 9 wins, tying Paul Macbeth in that 2019 season. But this year, if he could somehow pull off the next 4 events, which is a tall task, but if anyone can do it, it seems like it would be Gannon Buhr. He'd get to that 10th win. It'd be so impressive to see. And with that, we're fortunate enough to have none other than our friend Brian Earhart. He's out there on the course. Brian, super excited to have you. I'm going to start with an easy one for you. What are we looking at for weather this afternoon out there in Jeffersonville?
Well, it's a beautiful day, Terry. Sun is way out. I'm actually getting my retinas burned standing where I'm standing right now, but gorgeous day, especially being in the woods. They're not going to feel the same heat that I'm feeling out here in the open. It's perfect disc golf weather. No wind. These guys are going to get to attack the course like it's a blank canvas, and this is obviously one of the best courses that we get to play all year. It's many of these touring players' #1 course, and the energy is just really high out here. I don't see too many other places on tour where the players are making extracurricular plans every single day after the tournament rounds. They really love being up here.
Well, Brian, we were just talking about what we've seen from Gannon last year, and then, of course, as it segues himself into this year, the question for you is there anything or anyone that can slow Gannon Buhr down? How do others come out and actually compete with him?
I'm just going to be as honest as I can. I wish there was a deeper narrative I could give, but no. The answer is no. Gannon Buhr is the only person that can stop Gannon Buhr. What I'm interested in is how his mentality has started to evolve as he's gotten older. It's funny to even call him older, being only 20 years old, but we've watched his mentality and his obsession with disc golf evolve already in his short career. He used to be the guy that was all disc golf all the time, just completely obsessed. His competitors would always call him obsessed with disc golf, doesn't think about anything else. And recently, he's been talking about how now in his life, disc golf is a smaller sliver, and he's trying to make it a smaller part of his life, and he thinks it's going to be beneficial to him as he moves forward, being the #1 player on tour, managing those expectations. But right now, unbelievable talent. We've never seen a guy like Gannon Buhr, and he's continuing to push the bar each season. This finish to the year is just ridiculous.
Well, thanks to Barbasol, we're officially in playoff season at this point, Brian. So I got to ask, anyone talking about where they stand, any different strategies being deployed, anything else in terms of what we're seeing as we head into the playoffs?
Well, I found it really interesting. I was talking to Austin Turner at the press conference. He's 28th in the Tour Point standings, which means he's currently automatically in the Tour Championship. He has one last event here and at the MVP Open, but he says he was feeling the pressure. Making the Tour Championship in his hometown in Charlotte, North Carolina is a huge deal to him, and he felt like the pressure affected previous performances a few weeks ago for him. So not only Austin battling for those last spots, there's a lot of guys outside of that top 28 that are fighting for those 4 wild card spots going into the MVP Open. And that's frankly what I think is going to make this event extremely exciting, and the MVP Open. Not only do the guys at the top get the automatic bid, but now you can have the weekend of your life after fighting all year and make it into the Tour Championship at Hornets Nest. So a lot of chatter about what these guys are playing for this week, even though they're not in that top 28.
Well, big money on the line this weekend and at the championship. Brian, head on out to the course. We'll be looking forward to talking to you when you're out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
And, of course, we're going to catch up with Ezra, who's on hole number 9. Perfect through 8. Heads to the par 3. And that's going to put an end to that.
He may keep par free, potentially. This is a really challenging second shot. A lot of slope by the pin here.
He got lucky to fight forward that
Yeah,
much.
He did.
Could have been much worse from the drive we saw.
Nicholas Antala takes to the tee of 1 when we return.
Legends built it. The next generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol. The American original, Barbasol delivers a great shave for half the price of gels. Better yet, Barbasol has a formula for everyone. Why pay more for a great shave?
Barbasol.
And Discraft's biggest release of the season. Check out the GMC commemorative Crystal Sparkle Zone SS. It's a special release, and it's a performance-ready workhorse available now exclusively at the DGPT Pro Shop. Ezra's looking to get into the zone, and well, it's going to be par.
I consider that a birdie after that tee shot. I think Sexton said it perfect. He got a little bit lucky that he had such an open shot.
And out on the course, we've got Aiden Trombley. He's got a zone SS of his own, and I think he's going to be tossing that for us in just a moment. Let's throw it on down to tee 1.
so.
While they're getting ready, we're going to check in with Ezra Robinson on the tee of 10.
Just a little heavy on the turn. Does kind of get the fade back, though. Going to have a bonus putt look at it.
See if you can get the bounce back after that terrible par he took.
After a very small delay, I'm happy to welcome you back to the opening round of the 11th annual Green Mountain Championship, hosted by our friends here at Smugglers Notch Resort. This is the first of the 2 playoff events that finish off the season before the finals in October. We'll shout out to our sponsors Discraft and Barbasol, without whom we would not all be standing here. Today is the first of 2 consecutive rounds on our Brewster Ridge course in perfect conditions. But before we get to all that, we're going to, at this time, introduce our Director of Disc Golf Operations here at Smugs, Mr. Aidan Trombley, who's going to... He will now proceed to crush the ceremonial first throw of the 2025 Green Mountain Championship. Let's give him a big hand. There we go. Woo. Skip. Look at that. Without any further ado, a welcome into the box from Scottsdale, Arizona, a 2-time world champion and a 5-time GMC champion. Running a little late right now, but we're giving him his due. It's Ricky Wysocki. 30-second wait until we go to the next play.
And it sounds as if we are possibly waiting on Ricky Wysocki.
All right, stepping into the box next. He is from Huntington Beach, California.
I think it's just
He is a 6-time world champion of disc
Guessing
golf
Rick
and a
was maybe
2-time
caught up with
Green
some of
Mountain
the
champion. Let's make some noise for
traffic
Paul
over.
McFadden. Next to tee from Norton Shores, Michigan. Let's welcome Kyle Klein. And from Kuopio, Finland, let's give a big hand for Niklas.
Walking up
Attila.
late is Ricky Wysocki. We'll have to see if it was him just losing track of time or maybe it was a cart spectator, you know, just trying to get over to the course in the right spot. But yeah, Ricky Wysocki, I think, is going to take par +4 if he was supposed to be first on the tee.
I mean, you cannot cut it that close. Ricky took the 2-stroke penalty at the World Championships for being late and missing that 5-minute cutoff. Obviously, I don't know the situation. Anything could happen, but
Good luck on the course, gentlemen.
I cannot believe that he has missed his opportunity to tee here.
We'll take a 7 on the first hole, but we've got Brian Earhart along with team manager of Discraft, Bob Giulio. Let's see if we can learn more. Take it away, Brian.
Bob, we're walking up to fairway 1. This is such a special tournament. I'll stop you here since it's such a short first hole. talk about the relationship between Discraft and the GMC and why it's such a special relationship.
Yeah, we've been coming to GMC since 2016, and Nate Doss actually introduced us to Jeff Spring. They were really good friends, and anytime Nate recommends somebody, you know they're a good person. So kind of hit it off with Jeff and saw his vision of what he was trying to do. Didn't know that he was going to become, you know, the Pro Tour leader at some point, but we knew he was a good guy and wanted to work with him, and it's just a great time to be up here. It's like a vacation.
Well, it's like a vacation, but are you going to have to put Ricky Wysocki in timeout? He came late to his tee time. What are you going to say to him?
I'm not sure what happened there yet, but I mean, it's Ricky Wysocki. He'll make up for it. I know that. He'll put the work in to make up for that. I think it was just a little mistake there. I don't know what was going on, but heard he was in the practice field before right then, so it kind of sucks, but we'll get over it.
Well, hopefully that practice pays off. We'll see maybe 16 under par, 15 under par. We'll see. Back to you guys in the booth.
I can see him doing it.
Well, he's going to have to do some serious work. As I said, he should be starting out when you miss a hole. You're given par +4. Antala low from shallow circle 2.
I'm just a little bit beside myself. I mean, you would think that missing your time so recently at the Worlds would kind of have you on high alert. I just, as much as I like Rick, I'm not giving him a pass on this one. That is it's not just a bogey, it's a 4X bogey right now.
Same spot. Macbeth is short, just like we saw from Antala.
I will add on to the fact that this tournament is an absolute sprint. And those strokes, those potentially 4 or 5 if he would have birdied. I mean, if he loses this tournament by 3 or 4, you know, if he somehow plays his way back into it, yeah, you don't get a pass when you do miss your time, considering that everybody else was there on time. It's unfortunate for Ricky. We'll see what happens.
McMahon on 18, trying to become a co-leader at 9 under. Instead, he'll stay at 8.
I mean, that's a really good round by McMahon. You know, good to see his name at the top of the list.
Ezra now a co-leader. He's 8 of 9 and on fire.
Almost. Kind of getting better. You'll get it. You'll get it.
Dang, she over your par. Why does he get the special spot?
Because. Easy, bazooka.
This isn't just a bag, it's the MVPX1. I designed it with Discraft and Grippy Q to be the most advanced disc golf backpack ever made. It's packed with the features I need and built to perform at the highest level. And now it's here in a bold new purple colorway. The MVPX1, the future of disc golf on your back.
With our daily fantasy position at the Green Mountain Championship after round number 1. some pretty high expectations here for Gannon. Have him at 1.5. You can go out and select whether you think he can finish better or worse. At the conclusion of today, nxtbets.com/playdgpt to get in on the action. So either he's leading or he's not today. That's what they're telling us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. With the round that Ezra Robinson might potentially put down, that could be an interesting play, because it could be hard to chase Ezra down. 9 down through 10 holes. You know, we saw Barsby earlier, so I wanted to mention Barsby. He is in the tie at 9 under with Ezra. Now, Greg has not had a great season, but he did just recently win, and now pops off a good one here. That's a pretty good start for Barsby.
Nice time to be rounded into form. We say it every year about somebody kind of turning it around in time for the playoffs, and so much more exciting, as Brian was saying, with the rule change, allowing that next 4 guys next week at MVP into the finals.
Yeah, and honestly, with Barsby, that's such a good point. He's way out.
Yeah, no,
Like,
this is his only.
would
That's his
need
only
the
way
wild
in.
card.
Yes.
And there's Waisaki's first throw of the round here on hole number 2, which is something you don't say very often. And let's take a look at hole number 2.
Yeah, hole number 2, par 4, 550 feet, just kind of going slightly uphill the whole way. You got this rock wall you can see on the right side. That's out of bounds the entire way up. So tree kicks here, extra dangerous. You're looking to just throw probably a backhand fairway, keep it flat, and just kind of push it up this chipped path right into the middle. From there, I think flex forehand is probably your best and safest bet to attack the green, staying away from that out of bounds. This is kind of getting into dream landing zone territory right here. Then you can see how that gap starts to open up for that Anheuser overstable forehand, where you're working away from the out of bounds early into this gap above that brown dirt in the sunlight, swinging back right late, maybe take one skip, and hopefully clean up your putt. It's very doable birdie, but it's not one you really make birdie from out of position. It's important to get that 350-foot straight drive out of the way into position. That's going to give you opportunity to work on that second shot.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how it says 7th hardest. I think that makes really good sense. It's not, if you're not in position, birdie is out of play big time.
This is kind of a little left of ideal, but still very doable for Paul. It's a little more dangerous. You don't want to be on the inside and take the big kick. He did not commit to this, and I think fortunate to hit a tree. That was tracking towards the out-of-bounds area. Hard to say if it would have cleared the wall, but he just did not commit to the Anheuser as much as he needed to there.
Robinson, tee of 11.
Could have been really special. Hits that branch. It's still in a great spot, but I was dreaming of bigger things when I saw that flying out of sight around the corner. This drive is like a little bit better than you'd even dare to dream of, because you wouldn't try to put it over here to the right next to the OB, but now that Niklas did put it there, you see how simple that shot was. Did not need to play the angle switch, did not need to play the flex. Easy shot, tap in, bullseye birdie for him.
Rick's approach is overturned and comes up well short.
Yeah, this is the perfect drive right here, I would say. Exactly. Make it easy on the flex. He doesn't even need to go driver.
And we're going to take a look at our Hold My Bag fantasy disc golf picks. Evan Heimberg, Paul McBeth, Chris Dickerson, Alden Harris, and Bradley Williams all on my side. All showed up to their tee on time.
Elephant in the room. My tier 1 guy's 4 over. And he's only, well, he hasn't played a hole yet. But yeah, either way, this is going to be fun, Terry, to sort of watch it. Sexton, you get to play monkey in the middle, and you just get to pick who you're looking at. Maybe Kyle Klein.
Yeah, I mean, one guy I might have thought about is Gannon
Burr.
Burr. I mean, I noticed you
okay.
guys. I don't know what tier he was in, but it looks like neither one of you guys tempted to have Burr on the squad.
Tier 0, I think.
Yeah. But we'll see how that develops. Definitely, you're in the hole early, Doss.
Yeah, true that.
I had to go with my man Alden Harris. If you guys remember, opened last year's event with an 11 under on the course during opening round here.
Beyond all the fun we're having with the picks, just a comment and continuing on Ricky.
Nice.
And what a puge putt here from Paul. It's so disappointing for Ricky, honestly, man, just to miss that tee time. But Paul, he's in it to win it with the big birdie putt on 2.
This season, Team Discraft is making a statement, and the message is loud and clear. Discraft, built for flight.
Don't drown till I catch this wave.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
The Green Mountain Championship is presented by Discraft, world leader in disc sports. Smugglers Notch Resort, America's family resort. Martell's at the Red Fox, well-crafted food, locally brewed Vermont beer, and live music. Fiddlehead Brewing Company is the official craft beer of the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs. Brewing approachable, multi-dimensional beers.
He's done it, folks. The legacy of the Robinson brothers grows today.
Adam Ham is a 4-time Elite Series champion.
Mr. Niklas Antela. Feeling like a bad boy right now. He's got a couple of cowboy hats and a Gibson guitar.
Gannon Burr, he's your champion. 3 straight years with a major title win. And oh man.
Story of the Cascade Challenge, this man right here.
Anthony Barra!
Shanks for Anthony and for Gannon.
Okay, AB. Call it 20 feet.
No. What a nightmare final hole. Back-to-back Elite Series wins.
Here you go.
Oh, whoa, yes.
Ezra, stay your hole.
Calvin, it's on you. You can get the monkey off the back with the biggest putt of your life.
Bang. For the win, Calvin Heimberg.
On the stripe.
Oh, yes. is the beginning of an era of world titles for this young man. It's only 2025, but perhaps the man of the decade, Gannon Bird.
What a shot! What a shot!
The GOAT is back on top.
Kyle Klein off to a good start, getting holes 1 and 2. Here he is on the blind tee shot of 3. And he's going to like that. That'll be just inside the circle.
Yeah, not just scoring perfect, but the game plan perfect. I mean, has just made those first 3 holes now look so simple, getting to the exact right spot. Ooh, a nice little forward kick keeps him in the game.
Traditionally plays as the easiest hole here at Brewster. Hole number 3, a must-get birdie.
Saki will be relatively close to Klein's.
The last one was Ricky.
All right, welcome everybody to the opening round of the 11th Green Mountain Championship, hosted by our friends here at Smugglers Notch, Vermont. It's the first of our 2 playoff events to cap off the 2025 season, leading into the DGPT Finals in October. We'll shout out to our sponsors, Discraft and Barbasol, without whom none of us would be standing here. We are contesting today the first of 2 consecutive rounds on the Brewster Ridge course in ideal conditions. This is our 230 starting card, the lead card, or the feature card. First on the tee, from Urbandale, Iowa. Might take a minute. He is our current world champion, the current Green Mountain champion, and the reigning Disc Golf Pro Tour points and tour champion. Let's give it up for Gannon Bird. Next in the box, it's coming to us from Safety Harbor, Florida. Let's give it up for Calvin Heinberg. Stepping up next, coming to us from Mesa, Arizona. How about a hand for Anthony Varela? Stepping into the box from Lawrenceville, Georgia. He is a 2-time world champion, one of which secured right here at the friendly confines. Let's give it up for Isaac Robinson. Good luck on the course today, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Misfire by Burr is the big takeaway there. Klein starts 3 for 3. Ezra to become solo leader and double digits. Ezra Robinson 10 under par through 11 holes.
It's time to start talking about the course record, guys.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. He's been absolutely locked in and just one par. He's setting a pace. So I was talking about with that Burr bet after round 1.
Paul Ulibarri 7 under.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Look, I like this whole wild card thing that we're going to have coming up next week because that could end up being really fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Something to play for.
Potentially some guys getting in that has no shot, play right at the right time, you know? That could be pretty sweet.
I would go as far as to say there's absolutely no way it isn't thrilling. Like,
was that just the greatest kick ever?
It's up there.
That was going 2 straight without any hyzer to it at all. Hits off the tree, just barely kisses it and kicks it straight toward the pin.
Great effort. But yeah, you know, those 4 guys, it doesn't matter who they're going to be.
Exactly.
It's going to be guys that weren't going to make it otherwise.
Exactly.
So whoever's going to have a great weekend, it's going to be awesome. And watching that competition come down to the wire as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to get out of there. That's pretty far right. A lot of little tree trunks over in that area. Isaac took the kick off the fairway tree to get here.
Yesterday in the match play, Isaac played pretty well, closing out Simon Lizotte on the 14th hole pretty early for a match play. And, you know, you got to easily look at Isaac in this tournament, of course. But I was thinking about Calvin yesterday. Calvin just all over the place. I mean, he could not hit the center of a fairway. Said in his post-round interview that he really need to clean that up. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Calvin as well. Barella played really well in his match yesterday.
Putting strike there for Anthony Barella. Birdie on hole 1. And the rest of the card will tap in for par. Thanks to Disc Golf Deals, we're going to have a little form breakdown here. And Sexton, what are we seeing?
Well, it wasn't his best throw. This is Gannon going with the forehand mid-range. Nothing too strange about his forehand form at all. Just getting the extension back, coming through with a little bit of Anheuser angle. I like what I see here. As you know, usually it's not your form that causes a shank, but just maybe did not come over the top of that as much as he intended to. A little bit surprised by the stability of the disc. But I'm not going to call out anything about his motion there. I think it looks fine, just getting some extension, pulling through.
Well, Brian was able to talk to him a little bit about it as well. Brian, what did you hear from Gannon Burr?
Yeah, to Gannon at length about his forehand yesterday, pretty much about this exact same mistake. So Sexton hit the nail on the head. He needed to get over on it a little bit more. But yesterday, Gannon walks up to me out of the blue and says, Brian, tomorrow, if any of my forehands come out with any chop, it's going to be a shank. And he tried to throw the same disc he threw last year on some chop, and he said the mistake is last second he kind of flattens everything out, pops the nose up, and it slips out. And it's exactly what he did with this shot. He said, tomorrow I'm throwing a backhand.
Big thanks to our friends at Disc Golf Deals USA with pictured of every disc and along with scaled disc weights and same-day shipping and rewards. Find them at Disc Golf Deals. Your game, our passion.
That made a lot of noise for how far it got up there. Hitting a tree quite early, but made its way all the way out into the open.
I've long jokingly called the forehand roller the hardest working shot in disc golf. Because you can hit a couple things, and if that spin rate's good, she keeps on trucking. And I think Kyle, the benefactor of that right there. Oh, just barely.
It's also one of those special shots where you talking to your buddies after the round, you go, dude, I threw 5 forehand rollers.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Usually you're not bragging about it, right? That doesn't. And I shot great.
Yeah, it's not a brag. It's more of like, yeah, I shot at 8 over, 5 forehand rollers.
Well, ooh, that's a pretty good kick, but it's shank in my eyes for Gannon Bird to start. I don't know how much angle he's going to have from there. That's pretty left.
Yeah, and kind of the thing is the more you get up the fairway, but you're left, the worse that angle becomes. If you're going to be left, you actually want to be just a little bit short so you can try to create the angle.
A good kick, considering how bad the shot was. That was a great kick into the center of the fairway. Par still very savable.
Yeah, and I think he has to be a little bit careful of not trying to get too aggressive, because that fence line rock wall can come into play if you try to get too much on it from that far back.
Ezra Robinson on the tee of 13.
This is a significantly more challenging backhand on 13 versus having the forehand that's going to be bending right.
Good kick. Going to be a good distance up into the tunnel, but that makes all the difference. Not being in the woods, he's going to have his shot of choice.
So that was Klein's third, meaning a par is in store.
Yep. That's exactly what you call, Doss. You go aggressive from there, you bring that into play. He certainly is capable of making that shot, but bringing speed into that tight gap takes the kick over the wall, looking like a bogey. Number 5, another one of the easiest holes on this course. 305, straight down. Looks a lot like this when you do it well. A nice easy forehand with a little fade. Again, does have out of bounds on the left side, but if you hit the fairway, you don't have to worry about that.
I think it truly is, Brewster is one of the best courses for variety. Having to throw forehands, backhands, all different kinds of angles. I absolutely love it for that, you know, and I think a lot of people say, well, they're shooting, you know, pretty far under par, but they're throwing a fantastic variety of shots.
I don't know if I'm just a little old school, which by this point surely I am, but it just doesn't take away from my enjoyment of a tournament if guys are getting a bunch of birdies. It doesn't matter to me if the winner's 40 under or if the winner's 20. As long as it's a good battle, I'm locked in. I've never really understood that, to be honest, with people hating the course because it does give up a lot of birdies.
Wow, tough stance. You can see the big rock just behind his foot, having to actually not run up at all. I don't think he needs to run up. He's got the distance with the standstill here.
Yep, basket just dead straight. Needs this to keep turning, and it does. Oh, rooted. Still going to have a long putt, but that could have been
Yeah, that looked like it was going to slide underneath the pin, basically, and instead takes that nasty kick to the left. Barella Stand still forehand. He too is right by one of the short tees, just like we saw from Ezra a moment ago.
And that's perfect. If you're Anthony Barella, I think a little one eyebrow raise looking around at your group mates going, really, guys? This is what you're bringing to the table today? I'll go ahead and take my 2 birdies. But he has looked far and away the best player in this short 2-hole sample. Here you can see this tough angle. Calvin's still got a workable angle, but you can see if he pushes another 3 or 4 feet forward, it really starts to close down. Not enough, and that is a shank. Kicks directly out of bounds.
It's literally the one thing you cannot do. You have to go high with that.
Yes.
Put a lot of angle on it, and if anything, just miss 40, 50 left.
It's the same mistake we saw from Macbeth, but he got the lucky tree stop and then hit the huge 70-footer to get out of there with birdie. But it was a very similar throw to what we just saw from Calvin. Undercommitted. You're flipping a coin at that point. Are you kicking OB or are you stopping short? Oh, mama.
That ain't going to stop him. What a putt after the misfortune off the root.
That is awesome.
I will say, I mean, I think Brewster, as well as what we're going to see next week, out at Maple Hill, the ground play is a part of the game. I wouldn't actually even... It's unlucky, it's misfortune, but it is a part of the game at those courses.
And it can be taken out of play by the perfect shot.
Yep.
So, counting on skips in the middle of the woods has always been a bit of a risky proposition.
Yeah,
so if you're able to float them to the spot,
Yeah.
you're probably going to do better than somebody who's counting on a lot of ground play to get them home.
Yep.
Burr's got this very lengthy birdie look. Just touches the cage. Great effort.
As you called it, a close shave replay there by our friends at Barbasol. Thank you for supporting our Disc Golf Pro Tour playoff season here in 2025. As I say, Barbasol, put it on your face. When they finally change their marketing campaign to, what I've suggested, then I feel like I've arrived as a commentator.
I think you would be a good person for a commercial. Big Barbasol beard.
Great shot from Klein there. Down and around the corner on hole 6.
Easy cleanup for Burr. Heimberg taps in for the bogey, and Barella will be in for the birdie. So the struggles taking place there on hole number 2. Slightly changed hole 14. And that's just outside of the circle. Good look for Ezra.
All the way around.
2 straight. Still pin high, but it'll be 2 straight for Macbeth. We'll see if he can convert from somewhere around circle's edge.
Antela goes with a much more overstable disc out there near edge of the circle. I think the position that Anthony finds himself in is usually an interesting one. I think it gives you kind of a little gas when you're like, these guys are really going to spot me these strokes right now. It gives you a little extra incentive to like put the pressure down, just start turning the screws already and go, hey guys, you going to get going or what? I'm going to keep birdieing, but I'm going to try to put as much pressure as you guys on you as I can. Make you think about how bad you're playing and how good I'm playing.
Yeah, if you can get those guys to use some of their stress tokens early, you're doing good work. And that's another poor tee shot there from Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon's going into the token bag. I think he's got to be feeling it right now. That's 3 errant tee shots.
It's, you know, along with the way Gannon played last year at the first round. He shot at 8 down, which at the time was, you know, for that specific round, not very good. That's a very good kick for Calvin. Now that has to weigh a little bit on Gannon, just the way he started last year's tournament. And that's the exact shot that you need to throw, that you don't bring any of those trees into play. He put it perfectly down the center of that gap, and it ends with a great result.
Okay, so Ezra's just inside the circle. And this is to get to 12 under. Yes, he does.
Fantastic.
Hamas up ahead on 15, has this look for birdie. And Hamas soon trying to get to double digits. That gets him to 9 with 3 left to play.
Yeah, you could see how the early part of his round, man, he was killing it. Got a little cold there, but nice birdie on 15. Here's Yuli sitting at 7 under.
Let's see, any ground player that come closer to the pin, but Yuli trying to get to 8 possibly.
Yeah,
good opening round.
A little bit too low there. He's playing alongside Cole Radallen, who is playing really good today as well. Bogey-free 8 down. See if he can't finish with a birdie.
Oh, trying to go the left side route. Caught up early. I mean, just to be so far back on this hole that you're not really even giving it a legitimate putting attempt is disappointing in itself.
Oh, yeah. All right, Ezra here on a par 3, 15th. That rock wall, this hole does play as an island. He is safely in bounds, but way back and will be scrambling for par.
Yeah. Maybe the most treacherous hole remaining on the course. Anthony does not convert. But he is fortunate that he kicked right there. Still going to have a chance to save that par.
Stress tokens for AB?
A little bit
I don't know.
A little bit of an annoyance for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I had counted that one already. I'm sure he did as well.
You know, being that we only have 4 round tournaments left, you know, from here to the finish, you know, I think you've got to get used to that. And they have played a few 4-round tournaments recently, but it's just a different vibe, you know. But at this tournament specifically, you have to get off to a good start here at Brewster and keep that train rolling.
That's Saki warmed up and dialed in. And Macbeth with a solid putt of his own. Putter looking good so far from Macbeth.
Do you think Macbeth likes the Dodgers? He's got the hat, the shirt, the shorts to match. Klein's definitely looked pretty good so far. The only difference this year on this hole is that the basket is not elevated. Last year it was up on an elevated basket. Ezra's going to have to make a putt for par.
Ooh, nice skip.
Could have easily seen that, just kind of grabbing on that little turnover, cut rolling left. Took a nice forward power skip.
Yeah, it's the matter of, did you hit lush grass or did you hit sort of a bare patch? And that looked like a bare patch to me. Makes that second shot a little more manageable. That is fantastic position.
This hole is so well framed up. You have the big pine tree in the middle that's lit up by the sun right now. You can just try to bend around that, pushing forward. It's just a perfect shot. Is this the longest run without a birdie of the season, or?
It will be if he misses this one, I bet. It's got to be an incredibly short number of holes the way he's played, and he's going full send here. Going to pay a bit of a price potentially.
And we saw the kind of short miss from AB on the previous hole. Brian, you have some insight as to what might have happened there?
Well, yeah, we're standing on the tee pad, and he's like looking at the stamp of the putter, and he's like waving it back and forth. And I'm like, what are you looking at? And he says, on the last putt, he was drawing the disc down, and the sun hit the stamp in a weird way, and it like reflected back into his eyes. And I would think it was kind of a funny excuse, but I've had that happen to me as well, and it's such a weird, once in a blue moon thing to happen. We might see him wipe that stamp off if he wants to keep using those putters.
Look, as a guy whose routine is admittedly annoyingly based around twirling the disc around, it's all matte stamps on the putters for me. I've made that mistake before, and I am always putting in a call to Innova, make sure they're matte, because I'm not looking for that flare off the disc when I'm trying to get centered. So I, as funny as it sounds, definitely have been there before. So maybe he's going to have to go that route too. Matte stamps only on the putters.
Yeah, I mean, these are small little things, but it could mean a big difference in the long run. Very manageable shot here for AB. Just got to kind of put it on an angle. It plays all uphill. Kind of just want to throw it with a little turn. Let it try to fight back, going back up the hill.
Lovely shot.
This is Radalin to save the par. We saw his tee shot off the mark and approach to there, so he will walk away with a par. Bogey free 8 under.
Using all the room he had there, brushed a few leaves down that right side. It's well thrown from Calvin.
That's what we like to call a tight line. He had to sort of work a very inside-out hyzer.
And that's a nice par save after the early tree hit.
And it's one of those things, in years past, you'd like to be looking at this final 3 holes, birdie, 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 but with the change on 16, the change on 17, that's not so easy anymore.
Oh, disappointing second from Isaac there. Gonna see how much in the woods he is. I think he's gonna be okay, but Gannon's so far up the fairway that he still kind of has a chance here potentially. It's high risk again though, because you're gonna have to bring some speed, and you can see that gap is doorway sized. So a kick to the right here, catastrophic. If he can hit it clean and he puts some pace behind it, I think still some chance to reach circle 2.
The one thing is he has the height here, right?
Yeah.
So he can try to get it high in this gap, which can help it go a little bit more to the right as it goes up the hill.
Like
Yeah, there's the kick to the left, and it's a pretty big one. I'm not honestly surprised to see him miss that shot. That is an extremely high degree of difficulty to be standing back to the basket, trying to hit that gap. The gap is pretty far away from him, too, so the break point is a little bit unnaturally distant from the thrower. Really tough shot.
And Yuli now with his second on the 18th.
Come on, give us a little highlight, Yuli.
Oh, I thought for a second. It's a really good day, though.
It is a good day.
7 under. Okay, so he didn't kick quite as deep into the left side woods as I feared. But let's see how his commitment is here. This is that same overstable mid, potentially, that he went with on hole 1. Decent.
Yeah, and if so, that will be his 4th par of the round. What Ricky Wysocki wouldn't have to have a start like Gannon's right now.
The downhill 16th breaks hard to the right. Just slightly lengthened this year. Just needed a little more break.
Not that deep, as you were asking earlier, Sexton, but still going to have to step out here. Pro save.
Such an interesting way to place your feet. Like that's an Isaac only kind of
true.
way to set up and come over the top like that from the other side of the body. Very unique way of playing the game.
I agree. Yeah, you don't see it that often, but boy, look at his brother. Ezra gets a look.
Oh. Some quick research tells me that our hot round from last year was an 11 at the event. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the course has been changed. So talking about a course record is kind of a hard thing to do because there are some significant changes to the course. So whatever he lays down at this point, likely to stand as the record.
Yeah, I would even think, though, even with the changes, the record's the record here at Brewster.
Sure.
Because it's not that much different. I mean, 17 is 160 feet longer, but
yeah. If you go back far enough, it starts to get a little too easy. They've changed it just a little almost every year. So at a certain point, it starts to become a little bit unrecognizable. But yeah.
Yeah, last year Alden Harris opened the tournament with an 11 under. That was the hot round, and it was only matched later as Ezra jams that one home. It was matched then by Ricky Wysocki. He shot an 11 under when they played the course for the second time. So last year's hottest round at this course by Alden and Wysocki were 11 under.
I was just mentioning it, but Ezra is about to go to 17, which is 160 feet longer on the tee shot this year. They've moved the tee back.
Second shot for Macbeth on 7.
What a great tee shot. Just perfect position.
Yeah, making it easy on yourself with that drive. Oh, that's looking good. Fantastic. It's the tough thing with the driver is controlling the skip on the backside, and he did it with that Anheuser. Taking it up there towards the out of bounds, just catching a little foliage. That's well thrown. Does this beat the corner? I'm going to say no, but it also doesn't hit anything. So he's going to have an opportunity with the putt. And hearing from Brian that Gannonburr is kind of in his own head about the chop forehand makes me think that this is a stressful tee shot for him. Sitting at even, stepping up to a chop forehand shape. This will be screaming a little bit, but it does slow down nicely.
Wysocki with his second on the 7th.
Yeah, Ricky was way down in the corner of the fairway. Really nice job. That'll be 3 in a row.
Going to bring him back to even after the just inexplicable missed tee time on hole 1. Taking the 4 over par score there and now fighting his way back. Ooh, disaster here. It was very quiet.
Wow.
If that got through, it's just
unreal.
A huge break.
Yeah. That was the new tee pad of 17 that we were talking about.
Kyle Klein continues to knock down the birdies. He is now 6 of 7.
Great start from Kyle.
To be fair to Ricky, he had experience at the World Championship in this similar situation. It should not be something that we're talking about, but he's battling.
Incredible to just not, come out and be flailing or get any more frustrated, considering the circumstance. He certainly knows better that obviously he should have been there and such, but putting together, I mean, Rick could still get to 8 or 9 under and very much still be in this conversation. He's back to even.
I mean, if he does that, it'll be the most remarkable round in a long time, I think, with an early penalty. It reminds me of a story back in 2006.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know we're going to the Wayback Machine here.
Semifinals?
Johnny McRae in the semifinals of the World Championship on the lead card missed the first 2 holes.
Mm-hmm.
He would have missed more, but we had a weather delay. After the weather delay, he came out and I believe shot like a 10 for the final 16 holes in the rain to shoot a 2 under. It was unreal.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Johnny McRae.
I remember watching that from the hotel room when it was raining. Of course, I didn't make the semifinals. We all need a break, including everyone else on the network. Everyone will be right back.
Let's send these boys back to the lobby. Get on. Oh, Grandma's got a hot kettle for that tea bag.
How did you get so much energy from a candy?
One Shot is no ordinary candy. It only has 4 grams of sugar, and the nootropics help prevent jitters and crash.
Grandma, do you think I could try one of those One Shot energy chews?
Oh, sure, honey. But if you come for the queen, you better come correct, Sprout. I'm the OG. Got it?
Got it.
Level up your energy with One Shot. Grab yours at oneshotenergy.com today.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Does it concern you how much Infinite Discs uses your likeness in their marketing?
No, not at all. First off, the Alpaca is an amazing putter.
Right.
And alpacas don't miss. Shout out my guy Proctor. And Infinite Discs is a great company. They have like 100,000 discs in stock, so their selection and prices are incredible. So I'm not concerned about being associated with them. I'll tell you what does concern me though.
What?
The rise of AI.
Oh yeah, that's scary stuff.
AI is everywhere and also it's like so hard to tell it was real. I was not.
Get your 2026 early bird tickets now to lock in the best prices for our full event VIP passes at US stops next season. And quantities are limited. We'll be going pretty fast, so scan the QR code or head over to Eventbrite and grab yours today. You can also head to dgpt.com/tickets. VIP action. We got a front row seat right now. Kelvin Heimberg. T of 6.
Complete misfire there from Calvin. Initially inside. This shot, you really just want to kind of put it up pretty high and just let it float down that hill. Everything is drawing left here on 6. One of the easiest holes.
Oh, and a nice little root stop there. Beautiful shot from Anthony. Just taking a putter, slight hyzer, hit the gap, and just let gravity work.
Exactly. That's why I was so surprised with Calvin just so low and inside left.
There's almost no hyzer on this one, just nice and flat. A little long, or it was gonna be a little long until it hit those trees.
You can't just throw something pure stable here. It has to just have a little bit of stand up. This can bring that left side OB into play.
Ooh,
very close to it.
That is going to be close. So this is the result of that Hamas drive we saw earlier. He clearly missed it inside, but I would say got pretty fortunate. He's way up here.
And he's pin high with the old tee. Right? There's the old
he's
tee
not as far up as I thought.
Right.
I think that's not the men's tee.
Oh, is that a shorter
I
tee?
think it is
okay.
from previous years, but yes, you're absolutely right. He wasn't as far up as I thought he was. Still getting used to this new tee location.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big shot there from Kyle. Way up the fairway.
Wow.
Hole 8, the only par 5. The Brewster. This is one of those very stressful shots. You got to throw a lot of control. You can't let it go short left. You got to just try to throw it with a little turnover and just kind of let it bend straight towards the pin. Especially when you're throwing your third.
Gonna be tough. Probably putting from a knee in that area.
Isaac from way back.
And he was in bounds. You can see the OB there just left. He was about 25 feet short of the out of bounds. That is a stolen birdie. Way out of position, but a great putt.
It is just a scary era to be a basket in 2025, you know? Used to be able to relax every once in a while. Not anymore.
Not my baskets out back. They're pretty relaxed.
Look at these. They're coming for you. You're just sitting out there minding your own business. You can't even hardly see anybody, and discs are just coming in pummeling you.
Yeah. Incredible.
Gotta shout out the baskets every once in a while. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, too, we had that big Macbeth putt. Wysocki made the putt here.
On this hole.
Yeah,
and
right
Macbeth's
on
already
this
got
basket.
2 monsters that we've seen today.
Yeah.
Barella, just that little 15-footer with the flash of the stamp costing him a perfect start.
I mean, he's had the longest putt was that 15-footer.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Everything has been parked.
Ezra Robinson on the tee of 17.
So it's back and significantly left. So it's more of like a swinging shot if you're going to reach the landing zone now. The old tee pad you can see by those water coolers. I like what I see here.
He threw a great shot in the match play yesterday. I think that's going to be pretty good. He was in that left side pocket here in the landing zone, but did get up and down for a birdie yesterday.
Oh, Adam, pretty fortunate. This is actually looking a bit cleared out. Stays up on the hill, does not have to go to the knee.
But does he have to putt through this small little gap?
Yeah, between the trees. Looks like it, and he hits it. Good save.
Yeah. So we are getting reports, right? 13 down is the course record out here, regardless of any changes. And I believe we'll say 13 since Worlds.
Yeah, that's when it was set. I believe it was Lori Lettinen.
When we added those new holes.
Yeah,
8
really
and
was
9.
8, and it was 8 and 9.
Yes, that were much more difficult than the holes they replaced.
Yep. That was the World Championship, I believe, in
23.
23, yeah.
Yeah, Lori Lettinen, I believe, has that record. I feel like James Conrad might have been the guy to have it before that. Gannon Burr now 2 under, tee of 7. Back-to-back birdies on 5 and 6.
That's a huge shank.
And the right kick. So Gannon Burr is out of sorts. This isn't just a little blip. This is more shots than not so far today. Have been pretty disappointing.
And just to clarify, he is still in your hold my bag picks then?
I am not allowed to pick.
Better than Ricky.
I'm not, yeah.
Not by much, but still doing better.
I'm not a picking man.
That's true.
That is a good bounce and kick over to the right side. That will open up his options for the second shot.
This is one of my favorite tee shots here at the course, hole 7. It's just a long drifting shot, but you have to be precise. You don't want to be inside. That's going to leave him almost nothing.
I feel the same way about Calvin's tee shot so far today. Kim and Gannon both just kind of strangely off, undercommits, late releases. Both of them need to kind of right the ship.
Self-admitted yesterday by Calvin Heimberg. He needed to clean things up. He sprayed shots all over the place during his match.
Oh, and that's a big mistake from Kyle after the phenomenal drive. He just threw that away and maybe more by kind of hitting early tree and kicking left. It's going to take some doing to save the, well, maybe not to save the par, but to keep birdie in play.
Hurry, hurry, inside.
That's a putt. Makeable at that. You'll have a tree or two to deal with. Probably same congestion as the previous putt on the 17th. Klein, forehand out.
Yeah, he's going to have to work for the par now.
Yeah, certainly brings bogey into play.
Oh, until just now. No. I stepped on his log.
Brian, you got anything for us on these two guys over here on this right side?
Brian actually is going to hustle off to catch up with Ezra here in just a moment. We're seeing Barella.
Well, I'll respond with, there's not much.
It's not good. Yeah,
it's not going to get, I mean, just getting back to the fairway, finding a good shot would be ideal. Anything better than that is magical.
Yeah, this is like hit the first two gaps and figure out what happens next. And that's achieved. You know, you hit your line, you get some flight out of the disc, you're likely to be able to make par.
I think it could be said this could be much worse with that kick that we saw, how far right it looked to go. I think it went right and a little forward. He's only about 30 feet off of the fairway.
But this is so reminiscent of his position on hole 4.
Correct.
It's like this could be phenomenal, but he looks like he's going for a big swing, and that could bring in these very early trees.
It's that one. Oh, my God.
Nice gap hit to start. Not able to really work it all the way up there into birdie position.
Klein's fourth. And par in play. What a shot by Klein.
That's just a critical shot, I think, mentally, because your drive was so good. He had such a special shot. And then to kind of go shank, and then you're scratching your head walking out of there with a bogey. I think he'll be proud of that shot. Showed some guts and righted the ship there, got himself back to par, very likely from there.
Very well done. Very well done, Calvin. I mean, he had to hit a couple of gaps there, giving himself a chance to make birdie.
Hammis looking to get to double digits. Oh, and it slides out the right side, just pushes off. Just right of center and not enough for it to come in. And a little bit of a heartbreak there for Hammis. Good effort. It's still a solid day. He's going to have a 9 under, bogey free. He was thinking better, though, once he got to the halfway point of the round with the way he started. Slowed down a little in the back.
This is that left side pocket here that I was talking about earlier, and that's very nice.
I think we're going to start to get used to seeing players in that area with that lengthened tee pad. It's such a big ask to get around the corner cleanly like you could in years past. I think that'll be a collection zone this year.
Yeah, in fact, that was a similar spot to where we saw Ezra yesterday. So he threw almost the identical shot.
But I mean, his shot looked great.
It did.
He had good commitment, hit right through the middle of the gap, and that still wasn't enough to cleanly make the corner.
I think that's what Jeff really wanted. He wanted a bigger shot to be more difficult, but ultimately reward you.
Yeah, and much needed change. I would say that hole was certainly becoming too easy for a tour event, and no longer.
Robinson to get to 13 under with 1 left to play. Quickly, I'll read off a list of some course record holders that have been at the Brewster course. Nate Doss, Michael Joe, Paul McBeth, James Conrad, Kevin Jones, Chris Dickerson again, and Laurie Lettinen, all shooting 13 unders.
Wow.
You forgot you were holding a course record over there, Doss?
Well, Terry, life's not always that easy. Yeah, those were in the early years. I mean, I believe is this the 11th annual or 13th annual GMC, somewhere in there? I know they're double digits. And, yeah, the course has changed a lot since then, especially with hole 8 and 9. That's a big, big change. And if somehow Ezra can birdie here on 18, it would be a very special round, being the first person to ever get to 14 on any layout of this course.
And on what is very likely the hardest layout we've seen. Does it skip? Yes.
It does.
Gonna have to earn it. 50? 60? Yeah, quite a distance.
It was definitely inside. He came short of that bush that's in the middle of the fairway, which if you're short of that, you're going to be short of the pin.
Robinson in for the birdie on hole number 7. Less than 25 feet to clean that one up.
This second shot from Heimberg was something special. The drive was pretty bad, short and inside. And Calvin's just doing that Calvin thing where, you know, he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. Kind of famously flat affect on the course, and you get the impression, man, Calvin doesn't have it. He's shanking every shot. And then you look down, you're like, well, I guess he does have 4 birdies, and he's -3 through 7. It's not perfect, but it's certainly not bad.
And it looks good for McBeth still. It's 4 in a row for McBeth. And he's 4 under for the round. Hole 8 providing plenty of challenges. It's the most difficult hole on the course. We'll watch them attack when we return.
Do you want a fantastic Vermont adventure that's close to home? Smugglers Notch RV Village is the perfect getaway, surrounded by outdoor opportunities and beautiful views in the heart of Vermont. Make unforgettable summer memories. Smugglers Notch RV Village is pet and family friendly. Get the most out of your RV this summer at Smugglers Notch RV Village. Book your stay at Smugglers Notch RV Village, Vermont's newest RV campground. Visit smugglersnotchrvvillage.com or call us today.
for the 14 under.
The glass ceiling of Brewster.
Give it to him. Oh, the cage.
What a
so
day.
close.
What a day.
Solid effort. And over to his brother Isaac. Tee shot of hole 8.
Just don't go in the woods. Just enough on the edge to be awkward, but we'll call it a fairway hit. Nice distance. That looks to be about a perfect shot.
Klein goes deep of the pin and will be putting back uphill.
Tough angle there.
It's interesting to see Barella go with more of a controlled shot there. This is a scary putt, slopes away behind. It's going to be gone. That angle, that's easily going to roll at least 20, 25, maybe more.
And with that, Ezra Robinson ties the course record. 13 under, double G right there in on the action. Great fun card to play with.
And arguably, over all those years we've been talking about, the hardest version of Brewster. Really well done. You can see he putted perfectly inside the circle, 40% from circle 2, but green in regulation at almost 90%.
Can you tell when our camera showed up by looking at that scorecard?
Probably on hole 9. Congratulations, Ezra Robinson. I think we've really seen Ezra graduate this year. I mean, he started the season off with the big win, right?
Yep.
They got the other win in Europe. This would be another step, winning a premier event in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is tricky for Barella. I think he tried to back off there, but there just really are almost no gaps. He's out of the thick stuff, but probably only netted himself 150 feet.
Just a little bit of a roll there for Macbeth to have the comebacker and for the par on 9.
I think he got a little fortunate to stay as close as he did there.
Could have hit one of those small trees.
Yeah, that's true. Ricky did pick up another bogey right there. That was him slamming it down for 4. So that was a bogey.
Yeah, that's well done. For the misfires we have seen, got to shout out perfect shot for Calvin, and a really nice shot for Burr as well. So signs of life from those two guys here on the 8th. kicks into the woods on the right.
Difficult footing here. You can see all these roots he has to come up and over. His actual landing where his foot is clear, but the run up is tough.
Very nice. Stays out of the woods. That's what you want in 2 shots.
You can see how he kind of did that little abbreviated run up and kind of an abbreviated follow through. Really worried about his feet there.
Klein on the tee of 10, 175 feet downhill.
Super high out of the hand. Hard to imagine getting the turn you're looking for. There is some danger of out of bounds on that left side if it fades through those trees.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it comes up about 80 feet short of the pin, about 50 feet left. So definitely in play, the out of bounds over there.
Flexing back. And this is going to be deep of the pin. Out in circle 2, somewhere in the 40, maybe even 45-foot range. But uphill look for Antila.
That's a heck of a shot. I mean, you'll take that one. That's a beauty to get all the way down the hill. Needs to flex. Hard to say.
Didn't see it kick right. Might have hit just solid. Came down. Scrambling. That's why it's playing as the hardest hole in the course, because it is so far back uphill, and if you're not in the fairway, big numbers can come.
Gossage sitting at 9 under. She's 2 holes left to play.
And this is going to be that left side pocket too, but short of where we saw Robinson. Robinson got up and over that super deep hole.
What a shot from Goose.
Very nice.
And with the drone right over his head like that, too. It's got to be loud, our drone camera. Coming in just 3-4 feet from him. Just joking, of course.
Way short of the out of bounds there, so he was in bounds in the woods. Fateful words of "you're still out" for Robinson. Oh, and this is a tough shot. Look at how tight this line is. When you're playing back uphill, he'd like to put a little flex on it, put a little turnover. These trees on the left are going to make that very difficult. I think tough disc selection here to try to play this far back uphill and trying to get it to fly straight.
The forehand makes a little more natural sense to me. Do you think he's going to go up the middle and try to just turn it a little?
I think so. I think it's a disc selection here. Something that can get up to flat.
Well, as that was fading left, it then gets a tree direction back to the right. A tree kick, redirect.
Let's see. We've seen some good examples of just how quickly this hole can get away from you.
Right, with Klein.
Yep.
And now with Robinson.
Both with good drives. And then things kind of got off the rails.
Got Jacob Blair throwing his approach on the 17th. Almost skipping it in.
Yeah, Blair sitting on a 1 bogey 7 under.
He
Currently.
just barely missed this one.
A Blair Witch Project. Jacob Blair out of Scotts Valley, California, just 10-10 rated. That's a pretty good round for him.
He was playing really well at another event this year, and I'm annoyed with myself that I can't think which one it was.
He had a 15th at the Masters Cup this year off the tour. He had a 14th at the Crocal Open.
And I think he was up there in the top 2 groups at one point in that tournament. That must be what I'm thinking of. Looking at our leaderboard, that 13 really starting to stand out more and more as the day goes on.
Look at how far back Barella still is. Look at how far the pin is out there.
Oh man, and he's looking to throw this backhand with his hand in the branches.
So many things could happen here. I mean, he's trying to power through it. He's got to power through the one right in front of him.
Backswing and follow through, kind of in trouble here.
No way.
That was really well thrown.
Klein to save par on the 10th from just about 40 feet, and not a good attempt at all. And Gossage scrambles into a birdie. He's picked up 6 of his last 7.
Double digits. Really nice round for him. One more hole to go. Not a great effort from Niklas.
Yeah, seeing 2 air balls in this putting attempts here is kind of crazy as Macbeth ends the center of the chains for the birdie.
That 35-footer is looking automatic for Macbeth right now.
Looked like it wanted to dance its way out, but it stays in, and Klein 5 under.
Just a big unforced error there. That's one of the most open holes. Yeah, it's downhill, but should not be taking a bogey there.
Not one of the ones you circle and go, oh, watch out for 10.
Yeah.
You figure it's a great opportunity to pick up a bonus, but oh. I think we're going to have bogeys for Barella and for Robinson here. It's a great birdie from Heimberg.
Robinson will pick up the bogey on 8. Again, 8 playing as the most difficult hole on the course. Averaging over par.
And I think we just saw why. You're talking about one of the biggest throwers on tour, unable to get to the green, you know, in less than 5 shots.
I mean, he was never in a comfortable position.
Exactly.
He was always on the edge of the fairway. Every shot was hemmed in.
Yep. Can Gossage find the birdie recipe here on 18?
There's a forward roll. No, the backward roll. I was hopeful he could push through that.
18's been a difficult birdie today. Saw Barsby get it on the beginning of our show. Can Blair get it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a shot.
There we go.
What a contrast there. Gossage, when he lets go of that thing, it looks like it's coming out 100 miles an hour. And Blair just sort of, it didn't look like he put anything on it. It found its way all the way up there.
Gossage has a unique ability to make it seem like the discs weigh like 300 grams.
The guy rips it, that's for sure.
And they're so overstable. You saw Blair there sort of just work it a little bit better.
We're looking at our current conditions, near perfect out there today. Wind says 1 mile per hour coming out of the east to southeast, but 81 degrees in Vermont here in mid-September. We know that tonight and the rest of the weekend there'll be plenty of activities all taking place, extracurriculars, both at the course and anywhere in that area, depending on how much nature you want to take in. Fall Fest happening over there on site. Some unbelievable experience. Gossage for birdie. High left chain. It's going to have to close out with a par.
Still a better than 50% chance, I think, to make lead card there for Gossage, sitting on double digits.
Calvin heating up. That was great. Hits the front of the hill just like you want to. He'll have a 25-footer or so going back up the hill.
This is probably one of my favorite holes on the course. I love the design. I love the pin location. So much, you know, fall off behind the basket. I love that you have to work it into this front side hill to sort of slow it down.
Yeah, it's a hole that has a lot of subtlety. It takes a lot of speed control. This is not going to be it. Oh, good kick right. That is a really fortunate kick out. But yeah, it takes a lot to get it perfect, to get the turn, to hit the gap, to not overthrow it.
It has a very De La Viega,
yes,
you know, out in Santa Cruz type of vibe where you need to work that ground play. You can't just blast it down there and hit a tree. I love the word you used there, nuance. Subtlety is the word actually that you used.
Nuance works just as well. Catches a tree.
Yeah. But see, that's not the ideal shot. If he doesn't hit that tree, he's gone. I like the subtlety of trying to slow it down. A little bit of nose up into this front hillside here is what we're looking here from AB, if he can get it to work out. Rejection. That just hit the base of that tree and stopped.
It's going to put him in that position we saw Macbeth in, where you got sort of a scary putt to go after, and I expect he will go after it, but the consequences can be significant.
First standings update that we've seen here in our playoffs. Austin Turner with that 5-under round playing himself out of the Tour Championship, dropping down to 33rd.
Look at the battle we'd be having right now if it wasn't for the supreme dominance of Burr.
Yeah.
As we scroll down, look at a little bit farther down the standings, but it is incredibly close for those next 5 guys.
Yeah, we've already seen throughout this round Calvin and Barella bounce back and forth between 2 and 3.
Number 28 will play in the Pro Tour Championship. next month.
Well,
So we're heading to Lynchburg.
Well, the last 4 takes it to 32. 28 are in off the standings, and then that last 4 players, they'll be 32 featured. Even some permutations get us to 33 because of like a Ben Calloway who's got the automatic in with the win at the Elite Series level.
Yeah, we'll get into it more a little bit next week about this whole wild card, those last 4 players and how they get in.
I'm looking forward to that. So this is a great kick. I think we heard Burr even say, please don't kick left after his drive. Going to let him have a relatively simple save.
This is a dangerous putt, potentially, as you were explaining, for Anthony Barella.
Yeah, this is getting close to 50 feet. And he doesn't have room to swing it in. Thanks to that tree on the right, you can't really check your speed with height.
Yeah, in fact, there's 66 feet just to
Oh,
the
you're
left of
right.
his disc.
So how aggressive is this? Very. Catches a little bit of cage, might have saved him 5 or 10 feet on the slide. Helping the players out a little bit, as thick as they've spread the bark chips this year. There's been years where that's been a little bit more slippery on the backside.
This is no question my favorite hole in the course. I was saying I like hole 9, but I love hole 11. I just love the risk reward of getting way down there. Brings eagle into play.
Isaac doesn't draw metal. Heimberg coming back uphill, 25 feet at most.
That's a great run of birdies, 3 in a row, especially 8 and 9. To get those back to back, man, that is so tough.
Got a big Germ sighting on hole 13. This is his second. Germ having a pretty good day today. He's 6 under with a bogey. Not quite blackout golf, but shooting pretty well.
I just want to throw it out there. He's in 98th for the standings, but what's he got for us? Oh, with his cart. Clipped it with his cart. But he's sitting in 98th, but there's a potential through the wild card that he could still make the Tour Championship. And that's what I'm really excited for come next week.
Look at him fixing it. I mean, he's a big guy, you know, trying to fit through that little gap, cart and all.
He's had to fix a lot of those things.
For sure.
She knows what's up.
Now, this would just be perfect if he could strike from here. Oh, great effort from German.
Good spot here, Paul. Yeah, you're good. tricky shot being this far back because it's so far downhill. Speed control near the pin can be difficult. You have to try to bounce it down there. And he got caught up. You really have to land it about 50 short if you want to be at the pin.
Oh, that's way too soft. Don't hyzer out.
Beth thinks it's too soft. I'm not so sure.
It's all the way down there.
Sit. Doesn't. I think that got into the woods.
Took a little extra roll. I definitely saw it flash that direction. So much twist on that shot for Calvin. I mean, he immediately saw it dragging right directly out of his hand. A lot of the players like to work off of this left side of the fairway, sort of just drawing their disc back down the middle. Saw it with Antila. Speed, such a challenge to get it to stay close to this basket.
Just didn't have the height.
You see a lot of players ending up short, or what we saw from Antila, landing at about pin high, going about 50 long.
Like the look of this one. Can it hold the height enough to get a little slide? Just to edge a circle. And I'm not sure we've really directly addressed it yet, but you see next to Anthony's name, that 3. That's for the playoffs. That's going to be his tour standing, and that's updating live.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get a sense of where the points are at as we play. You can see 43rd for the tournament, 3rd in the world point standings.
Varela is going to be on that short right side. Still a chance for birdie. And we saw the 13 under by Ezra Robinson. He caught up with Brian Earhart. Here's what he had to say.
Joining us now in the clubhouse, Ezra Robinson. Ezra, 13 under par to start the tournament. You told me before the camera went on, your practice rounds were terrible. Just talk to me about that.
Yeah, let's see. My first practice round, I could not get off the tee at all. I was shaking every shot, couldn't hit a gap. So that was rough. And my putting has been fine all week, luckily, because that was what I need to work on most. But yeah, I was not like. And during match play, I threw so many bad shots. I just played so poorly, and so it was just like I knew I needed to get something right, and it clicked today. So.
Well, clearly it clicks. So talk about what it feels like to shoot so well and be throwing so well on a course like this.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many gaps. I love the woods. That's where I grew up playing. So I feel very comfortable trying to hit gaps. The thing out here is you can get some really unfortunate breaks on the ground. There's a lot of roots, a lot of stumps. So I think that didn't bother me too much. But yeah, just as long as you hit the main gap, you should be good. And like I said, I'm pretty comfortable doing that. So I was lucky to hit majority of it.
Well, they were talking on the broadcast. 13 is the best score that's been shot on any iteration of this course. With all the changes they've made, 17 pretty notably has changed. What do you think about this iteration of the course?
Yeah, I like it. I think there's like 2 or 3 holes that I just can't figure out the line, but you can kind of squeeze through something. But other than that, I like the whole change on 17. I just disc up off the tee, so it's basically the same shot. But yeah, I like it. I think there's more stroke swings out here, which is cool because it is. I think this is one of the shortest courses we play on tour, if not the shortest. So.
This is one of those properties where it seems like after the tournament round, everybody has plans. Everybody has a hike they want to go on or a restaurant they want to hang out at. Anything planned for you?
Well, we are staying in my grandmother's cabin on Lake Champlain, about an hour and a half away. So mainly just driving back and then cooking up dinner, maybe go fishing and stuff like that. So
life is good. Round 2 tomorrow at Brewster Ridge. We'll see you out there.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
little bit of a commute there for the Robinsons.
Yeah, putting in the miles.
I mean, let's assume they're 6 days total.
Minimum.
3 hours. I mean, we're talking 18 hours of driving.
I think 6 days is on the light side too. You know, I would expect them to get in 2 courses to prep.
Antela from long range collects the birdie. What a shot. Right side chain for Barella from about 40. Klein for par on the 11th. Circle's edge or just beyond actually for Klein. Good par save. Robinson makes that one look easy.
I mean, we've just been talking so much about Gannon and his play. You know, Isaac's just completely struggled getting that birdie just to get the 2 down. 11 shots behind the lead very early, but just 8 holes left in his round today. And, you know, being that I've been in the position of shooting a 13 down out here is very difficult to back that up. This is one of those types of courses where, you know, you cannot live off the expectation of the previous day. Come out and reset.
No resets for you guys because we've got more action when we return.
Made from the earth, Rhino harnesses the power of plants and the sun to create topical performance products that are good for us and our earth. Formulated by a pharmacist and built by a chef, Rhino's unique line of products helps adventurers perform better and enhance recovery.
It's the Birdie Pro Championships check-in, and we're down to the final hole.
Well, good luck because you've got no driving chips left. It's raining big time, and even I've got a chance.
And our mystery player has the box. And that, my friends, is an ace.
Okay, I gotta know, because you're definitely gonna beat us. Who is your sponsor?
Letter Plumbing.
And with that ace, you just won $500.
Yes!
And there is your new Birdie Pro champion. Go to BodaBrothers.com and get Birdie Pro today.
Sorry, hey, oh, sorry, excuse me, hello, hey, thank you. An aqua, I'm looking for an aqua. Do you have one?
Hey, Germ, you can't cut in line.
My apologies, you may have noticed I just cut you in line. I'm just looking for an aqua.
An aqua? Here, use mine.
Got it, thanks.
Macbeth on the tee of 12, currently sitting at 6 under. I like this. It needs to fade just a little harder. Or skip almost up and in. Macbeth just barely missing the ace. Take another look.
Eerily similar to the skip that we saw yesterday when Antela got an ace on 16. That sort of anti-skip, almost bouncing up. But either way, close for Macbeth. He'll move to 7 under.
Almost call that a close shave as we're watching Robinson turn this over. It doesn't really get flat. It just kind of Anheuser's the entire way. He'd love for that to have flattened out and then get more carry out of it, but still going to be pretty happy with the forward progress there. And a kick hard left. Brian, is Kelvin going to have anything from way off on that left side where he is?
There's always a few really skinny gaps that you can hit from that side. It's not that thick. If you get caught up on the right side, it's a little bit hairier. So he's going to have some risk reward. If he wants to get a little risky, he can probably manufacture something from there.
Wysocki has a birdie look, trying to fight his way back to even par, and he's going to do just that. And Brian, do we have any official updates as to Ricky Wysocki and him just arriving to the tee late?
Yeah, I caught up with this caddy and had a quick conversation with him, and it really was a quick conversation. I wish there was a better story to tell. There was no disaster. There was nothing keeping them from getting there on time. It sounded like it was just straight up poor time management and maybe misreading the tee times. But the caddy said, all the blame is on me. I didn't do my job that I guess I was expected to do. And yeah, that's how it went. And just really unfortunate.
Wow. Should be a mistake that's ideally never made, but if you're going to make it, you make it once in your life and never again. That is crazy to hear for, like we said, a seasoned veteran, especially this late in the season with big titles and money on the line.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm glad to hear that it wasn't a car accident or something that kept Ricky off the tee, but it's disappointing is what it is.
Yeah, and I can appreciate the caddy saying that he's taking the blame, but I'll go out on a limb and say it is 100% Ricky's fault. There is nobody responsible for you being on the first tee except for you. You can't misread your tee time. You can't not be there. That is his responsibility. And in this case, now that we know that information, it's even more disappointing for Ricky. Paul playing well. And, you know, I've looked back through the history of Paul Macbeth here at the in the Green Mountain Championship. Only one win back in 2019. He has a ton of top 5 finishes, but has not gotten over the finish line. That's something rare for a guy like Paul. So, you know, at this point in his career, this would be a big win.
Whoa, crazy skip there off the root.
Just the line that he hit. I mean, look at how tiny that gap is.
Incredible.
It's insane that he was able to pierce it all the way through there, and then it was still coming in at full speed.
Yeah, it was coming in with some heat, that's for sure.
That was insane.
The one thing I'll say about Paul that wasn't technically a Green Mountain, but he does have that Tour Championship win in the early days of the Disc Golf Pro Tour on this property.
In a completely different format.
Absolutely.
And I just want to be very clear. It was not really truly stroke play. It was these battle groups where you had to win your group.
Yep.
And, but you're right. He has won here, lifted a trophy twice. Won GMC in 2019.
Yep.
It almost feels like there's very few properties where Paul hasn't been victorious.
And that's what, and not even just victorious, but more than once. Right? I mean, he only has one win here. I know it sounds ridiculous to say that, but that's where we are with Paul and his fantastic career. In fact, I would go as far to say I think the most exciting tournament was Idlewild when he did win it on that final hole up against Gannon Buhr this year. It's been one of the highlight moments for me as a fan.
Absolutely. Huge drive we just saw from Paul, but he's going to be tucked into that right corner. Probably a little bit of awkwardness waiting for him on his approach shot there on the 13th.
Speaking of GMC winners, or people who have won, so to speak, on this property, it's one Nate Doss.
Well, thank you. But look at not one repeat winner since 2018. I mean, just think of that. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, not one repeat winner. That we don't see that often, and I think that goes a lot to say. As it all comes down to Brewster. Generally, the players that play well here do well in the tournament.
Good kick for Antala.
And, oh, by the way, you know why we didn't go past 2017? Because they all say Ricky Wysocki. I believe at that point, Ricky had won every single GMC that he had played.
Three or four in a row, I think. But it was not the big-time tour event till maybe late, very late in that stretch.
Yeah.
Before that, we're talking big B tiers.
Correct.
Still,
the
nice
beginning
wins.
of the Pro Tour, the early years, a little bit before that, Ricky just had a dominant record.
Yeah.
Ben Calloway, we talked about earlier, had picked up the victory over at the Croco Open. Currently has secured his spot in the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship.
Yeah, a 10-down round for him. Look at that finish.
Well, there's what's possible on the back, where he did all of his work almost.
Wow.
Gets 8 out of the last 10.
Incredible.
So
nice
that's
work, Ben.
That's a great example of playing himself into the Tour Championship.
Wow. Cannot be stopped. Just a bad drive, a ridiculous upshot. We're about to see it. Look at the gap, and then look at the crazy skip. This gap hit is nuts. But now watch this reaction. As it catches this root, it goes about 20 feet up.
It just had so much speed.
Yeah.
It was a full-on driver. But then to follow it up with the up and over elevator putt from Calvin.
That might have got higher than the skip did.
Yeah. And Calvin is officially playing good now.
Yeah.
For all we had to say in the first 5 or 6 holes where he was making a lot of mistakes we don't expect from him.
Well, and of the 8 men that we're covering today, he is only being bested by Macbeth.
And he's got another hole.
Exactly.
To catch up to the number that Macbeth has played.
Klein's approach on the 13th underneath the basket. He's going to skip just outside of bullseye.
So good from a standstill. That little nose up turnover. Everything is drawing left here. The hillside. Nice job by Macbeth.
Yes. That's a big drive from Paul. It was not quite as awkward as I feared it would be over there on that right side, mixed up with those last trees. But anytime you drive it over the bridge, you've done something pretty special.
I'd really love to see the backhand there by Antala. I'm surprised, in fact, that with that angle, he still went forehand. I feel like your options are so much better with the backhand.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a crutch in that situation. A standstill backhand is easily in his wheelhouse. I think he went for something that he just felt a little bit more comfortable with.
Taking a look at hole 12. Just a par 3, but blind from the tee, 430 feet, but it plays probably closer to 375 with the big downhill. You can reach this with putter, mid-range. You just want to throw something pretty straight. You want to be careful of the driver because there's a big drop-off back behind the basket, about 30 or 40 feet. You can't really see it in our shot here, but it's out of bounds. It's way down a hill. You might lose your disc. So I think straight mid-range, a little bit of height under it, just hit the center and try to let it glide straight. You don't want to see a whole lot of fade. A little bit you need, but a lot is not really your friend. You're going to end up in all those little trees on the left, and those are hard putts to make.
Sort of an expanded hole 6 in a way.
Yeah.
Where everything's drawing down the hill. Just let the disc do all the work.
Yes.
Land about that 30 feet short. Just let it bounce around down there.
I would guess this is too much left movement. And there, yeah, you know, it's a good shot, but he's in there amongst those small trees. A little straighter to start. Just cut down by the last tree that had anything to say about it.
This looks on the inside, and it is. Much higher and wider, and clips some of the leaves up above there and slows it down. So considerably short for Barella. Macbeth tees on 14, 355 feet. That is low. Huge skip straight up into the air, and then somehow stays in the fairway. We'll be right back.
At the Paul Macbeth Foundation, we're obsessed with one thing: making disc golf more accessible to people around the world. But here's the thing, we can't do this alone. This September 20th, we're trying something massive. It's called Throw for More. Here's how it works. You get sponsors, play as much disc golf as you can, and every hole brings the sport to someone new. UDisc believes in what we're doing so much, they're donating 10 cents for every single round played that day. Your rounds on September 20th, they count. Register at throwformore.com.
If you want to know what a disc is going to feel like before you get it, you have to check out OTB disc. The first thing I'm looking for when I grab a new disc is the feel of the disc. It's got to be confidence instilled. Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
It's really, really helpful in not only finding a disc that looks beautiful, but is also exactly what you're looking for it to feel like. Of course, when you're dealing with OTB, you're going to get only the best.
Ansel on the tee of 14. I like where this is headed. Just outside of bullseye.
Fantastic shot.
For how good the first 6 holes were for Barella, he's even par since then. Just crazy how quickly it's changed for AB.
It's a great view of how tricky it is on that left side. And a great illustration of how good our world #1 is at the moment.
What is that?
That is 100% a confidence putt. Look at, it's a full send. It's just an absolute full send, did not leave the basket.
And look at, I think it's telling too, there's no fist pump. There's no anything like, wow, I did it.
Nope.
It's like, of course I made it.
It's confidence.
You know, because he's expecting to hit those. That's the level he's at right now. That's not a surprise that he could just brush the branches all the way home.
That's why he's the #1 player in the world.
Kelvin's still at 45 feet, and think Burr was back behind him and to the left. think we call that big putting.
It hurts. It hurts when it happens to you. Okay, I'm going to try this again. This is a great illustration of how tricky it is on that left side. What do I know? You know? That's well done.
Varela cleans up for the par. And Kelvin should do the same. And we're 2/3 of the way through the course with our final card now, up to Macbeth. Had the power, just barely offline. Klein.
Not even two. That's not even close.
Antala making light work of the 14th.
Niklas still has a great chance to feature in those top two groups with a strong finish right now.
I said it earlier with his brother. The inability to be able to throw forehand here on this hole makes everything so much more challenging. It is such a touchy shot to try to throw a turnover around the tree that's just to the left of Gannon out there, that dark one. They're trying to throw forehands that just bend around that, but when you're trying to throw a backhand, everything's pushing straight. Ezra got fortunate to kick out of those woods.
Ooh, and that's potentially even a worse spot, tucked in there on the right side.
Again, just a bad shot.
Yep.
I mean, he should be powering this thing
It should be low, yeah.
He went with a swoopy hyzer. There's something up there with that forehand, isn't there, Sexton?
Yeah,
It's
it sure
a little
seems
mental
like
block,
it.
maybe.
Sure seems like it. I mean, he admitted as much to Brian, and we've sort of seen it borne out today. See if Calvin can show us a nice flat, low shot. Not even close. That was a shank. Wow. And this isn't good either. I'm shocked. The gap is big.
For the top three players in the world, who they all threw forehand, for not one of them to be out past that tree.
No, but
It's
no one to hit
wide
the gap.
open.
Yeah, no one
It's-
hitting the gap.
I mean, seriously, from a forehand perspective, it's wide open. Strange. This looks good. A little bit too wide, though. On 15, anything on this island, I'm pretty much okay with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just being safe off the tee. Big Germ slid back to 105th in the standings. Watching the forehand. Does that have the space? It does, and it hops up and over. Big Germ on the dance floor.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sitting at 105th, you know, it hasn't been the season Big Germ's been looking for. But at this point, you're playing for, obviously, pride, playing for a little bit of money in your pocket, and playing to try to round yourself into form to compete for those last four next week, because he certainly has the potential to do that.
Yeah, he's a previous champion at Maple Hill.
Yes.
So he knows how to play well there. And I think that's a great point. Just round yourself into form, not only for that event, but for the USDGC, which he's a previous champion of as well. Oh, this is bringing bogey into play.
Oh, wow.
Might be back far enough that he's got an angle at the tunnel, but not a good spot. And as we take a look at the Tour Championship and top 18 FPO players along with the top 28 MPO players automatically qualify. And then as we were just talking about, anything's possible with the top 2 FPO and top 4 MPO players can get in at the MVP.
And we're talking their performance in that event.
Yes, that have not already qualified.
Yes.
I just think that is so cool.
You take all the players that are outside the standings,
and the top 4
and
will
the top
get a
4
spot.
just for that week buy themselves a way in. Nobody does it better than that guy right there, fitting the forehand into a spot like this. He plays that flip shot. I think he's put himself in position to go for birdie.
Really just pitching up, looking for position. That's what Heimberg was thinking there. I think it's
lining
rare
this
that
up like a roller. It is roller.
Oh, and it hits the tree up above.
He's going to that roller to just try to get as much distance as he can. Just try to crash it up there in those trees, and maybe
a
he
really
gets a long
heavy
putt.
break
Yeah,
at the end is important too, because where Isaac found himself, you don't want to go down there. If you can break hard right, at least you preserve your access to that tunnel.
Macbeth on 15 now. Way out off the. Oh, and just barely misses it. He wasn't even inside the circle. He was outside of that.
Wow, this thing goes halfway down off the front rim. Look at this. Boom. Oh, boy. That could have easily gone in. Great run.
This dude has not laid up in years.
Yeah.
Every shot, he's just hunting. Oh, man, this is risky. Where is he looking right here? Going to try to sneak the hyzer around, or is he going to try to get cute with a tiny gap?
It ultimately does get through.
Yeah, it worked. Took a little kick. Look at this drive.
Yeah, it's pretty good for a backhand.
And
now
he's
going
gonna
to
bring the
forehand
roller.
He's just messing with us, right? Everybody would throw a backhand. Just a nice little straight backhand.
Come on now. Come on now.
This is going to do it. This is going to do it. Unreal.
I love it.
And we're going to take a look at this because he didn't throw one shot with a backhand.
He better putt this with a forehand, I got to tell you.
That's the only way to do it. You can head on over to oneshotenergy.com, use code DGPT, and get 25% off your order. That's oneshotenergy.com.
It's one of the best things about our game, the creativity, the different ways to achieve a great result. Big Germ, one of the more creative and different type of players we've got on the tour.
Somebody needs to clip that and he needs to put it on his social media. That was a crazy way to play hole 17. I don't think Jeff Spring, while designing that hole, envisioned that.
That's what I set out to do. I want to go do stuff the course designer didn't think about. I think a lot of players take a little joy in that.
I generally am trying to find out exactly what they want you to do. And
try to do that
throw
thing
it right next to the basket.
Yeah. I tend to. I'm maybe a little too cocky. I tend to think I know better than they do.
That was fun.
I like the line from Macbeth. Can it skip up to the pin? It gets caught up on the left side.
That was just a little bit too low, kind of screaming. You need to get a little bit higher, let it drift right.
Pretty
Man,
nice
Are
from
they
there.
all going to get away with it? Scramble fest?
Yeah. This guy right here, special shot yesterday.
I'll expect a replay here in the next couple of minutes of that shot from yesterday.
Well, today it looks like he's going to pick up the birdie. You'll have to settle for that. Twice as many throws as yesterday.
Whoa. That actually wiggled away, and even great putters are going to have trouble from down there. A lot of little branches, a couple of trees in the way. Oh, Matt Bell doing work. Look at him. Up on the 17th, 9 down. Also going to go forehand here on 18.
There's a line here for sure. I honestly think it's a better line if you throw it perfectly. He did not throw it perfectly. But there's space over there for sure. If you can hit a nice hard forehand.
Gannon setting up his shot. And just barely gets it in. But Brian, are we hearing something about a possible warning out there?
Yeah, just got alerted by the marshal that Gannon was assessed a time warning on his approach to the green, that scramble shot. He was getting close to 50 seconds was what he was clocked at, I think like 46, 47. And it's going to be announced officially on the next tee. But it sounded like he kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah, of course he did. He's used to this by now. You know, he knows it's coming. He'll alert the group. The group will be used to this as well. They all play with Gannon regularly. And he was taking quite a bit of time. I'm believing it's on the forehand.
Yeah, where we were talking about which gap is he going to take. I think so too.
Yep.
Klein with the birdie look on 16, and he knew it. Good putt by Kyle Klein.
Yeah, Klein sitting on a 1 bogey 8 down for the round.
And a solid forehand by Big Germ. That's going to leave him with a par to close out his round. Macbeth. Too much power and height.
He had a better look than I initially thought that he would.
Yeah.
That was a very makeable putt.
And Antila. Twice as many shots as yesterday during the match play championship run that he was making. Him against Adam Hammis. This is the shot on 16 for Nicholas Antila. Which turned out to be their final hole. And same disc as Antila just skips it in.
I've only seen the highlight. Was he aware right away that this was an ace?
No, that was maybe one of the funniest parts is they thought, well, I thought I heard metal, and then Antila responds, I think I heard chain, but they did not know for certain that it was an ace.
Wow.
We haven't really fully talked about it here, but a brand new basket location here on 14 in several years past, this pin has been tucked really far right, and actually even further back up the fairway. And they've straightened it, brought it a little bit shorter at 355, a much more gettable birdie.
Yes.
Especially if your name's Calvin Heimberg right now.
What we ended up with a lot in the previous location was a lot of 50-footers, a lot of 45, 50-footers. Certainly you'd see some players get up there. With this location, definitely a better stroke separation with the new basket.
And I'm not sure if you guys were made aware of the story we heard recently where Gannon Burr was telling that every time he gets a time warning or violation that he actually has to buy dinner for all his boys. And that's a running thing throughout the rest of the year. So it looks like somebody's eating good tonight. Maybe they'll go over to our sponsor, Martell's, or something, but looks like it might be another free dinner.
Well, they got an hour-and-a-half drive, so there'll be plenty of places to go to.
About dinner time out on the East Coast. But stay tuned. We've got action as we close out round one.
You play disc golf long enough, you can relate to this experience. You adjust your stance, you change your putter, you make all of these little tweaks to improve your form. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to go back to fundamentals. That's exactly what we did with the Octothorpe. More stable, more refined, more features for the modern disc golfer. This is the Octothorpe reimagined.
Down.
The discovery of electricity, the first flight, democracy, splitting the atom, computers, modern medicine, space travel, and of course, the Royal Line from Latitude 64.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
All right, guys, I've partnered up with JomezPro, and we've come out with some new discs for my Ricky's Roundtable podcast. We've got zones, we got thrashers, we got nukes, and lots more. Be sure to check them out on JomezPro.com. And if you haven't checked out our podcast already, be sure to check that out. JomezPro's YouTube channel. See you there.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMet Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMetGroup.com.
Just saw Paul Macbeth's drive a moment ago now with Kyle Klein. 2 holes left to play.
So the shot that we saw Big Germ throw earlier, that forehand, went about 375. Is to that bridge crossing. So that's a good perspective when we're playing hole 17. Here on 15, these players do have to go about 100 feet before the island even starts. Anything short would be out of bounds. And that is perfect.
Wow.
And it is a true island, so if you miss the island left at all, you do go to a drop zone.
Yeah, all OBs.
Yep, all OBs.
But you do have unlimited space up to the right.
Arguably, yeah.
I don't believe there's any OB line up there.
You go far enough, you might find one.
Maybe like a highway.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Wow, 2 for 2. These are great shots.
Rella didn't like it, but it is low, and we'll see what he can do with that. But Burr up to tee next.
Oh,
no way.
Disaster.
That's the scenario. He did not get to that island. He'll go directly to a drop zone, which is at the entryway to the island. So that's where he'll be playing from, is this far back.
Theoretically should be a pretty simple bogey, but probably still high 200s in terms of distance to the pin.
That drop zone is right at that opening, or just in front of that opening where you walk over that little pathway there. So he's just gotten to it right now.
Yeah, maybe more like 200 feet.
Yeah, so looking at the caddy book, it's 150 feet from the tee pad to where the island starts, that little corner right there where they just walk through.
Okay.
So he has 250
Okay.
left. But he does have to bend it, break it left the entire way.
And a perfectly fine shot from there. But that means bogey coming up for Gannon Burr. Fall back to 4 under. Matt Bell hunting double digits.
Man, what a round.
Chance to play lead card tomorrow.
You know, he's a putting specialist. We'll see what he can do from over on the left side.
Bell, one of those guys outside looking in at the Tour Championship.
Yeah, another thing worth mentioning here in the playoffs, 250 points on offer. So if you have that great week, your best week of the year, get up there in the top 10, you can make a huge move up the standings.
Yeah, and that, I believe it said 28 next to his name. That reflects his tied for second place, or tied for fourth place
Yes, he would
position.
have to finish in that position.
Yeah, exactly. At this moment,
Yes.
that's where he
So
is.
he really needs 2 really good weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But up to the task so far.
No way, bro.
Hear the frustration of Barella on the approach shot. Albert Tom, aka the Bazooka, teeing on 18. Going forehand.
This is that line you were talking
look
about,
how
Sexton.
clean it is. See how clean?
It hits the pole koozie.
I think there's way less stuff to miss. If you have that shot in the bag, the backhand has it. We've seen tons of guys come in looking good, take a roll, clip this. That forehand is clean if you have the elite power of Albert Tom.
So an OB-free bogey coming for Barella. You don't see that often. You're basically guaranteed a bogey when you go out of bounds off the tee, but not as often do we see a bogey-free 4 here. Or excuse me, a OB-free bogey 4.
This putt would go a long way towards keeping Calvin's lead card hopes alive.
Some obstruction coming from Macbeth on the par putt.
Wow.
That is 100 times more shocking than watching him pull over on the tee shot. Just to miss from that distance and to miss by that much as he steps up and makes a putt that's even longer than the previous one. Now, certainly the footing or something in his stance maybe was throwing him off just a little, but you would bet on Gannon all day long to make that putt. That was shocking. And he missed it by a lot. He didn't splash chains and it just kind of, you know, went on its top side and fell to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, he missed it.
Yeah, a bit of a grip lock.
I just think it's, to borrow a term from poker, it's full tilt is the current situation. I mean, under any other circumstance, he ain't missing that putt.
Just 3 under for Gannon Burr in a deep hole.
I was doing the math, and we're watching Klein try to punch through on 17. I knew he'd get at least the bogey and go to 4 under, and then looking at, okay, well, last year he opened the tournament with an 8 under. You know, he closes out strong. Maybe he gets to that 7 or so. But Matt Bell gets to 10. And a solid finish. 4 of his last 5. As we roll the Zuka replay, Matt Bell banging it home.
Gannon is in a tie for 56th place currently. Matt Bell now in a tie for 2nd in a position of playing the lead card tomorrow. Gannon's going to have to earn his way back into this tournament. It's not going to just happen tomorrow.
No.
It's going to happen over a 3-day period at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
He's 10 back of the lead.
Last year yeah, I was just going to say, last year, he then went to Fox, you know, the Fox Run Meadows course, shot himself, you know, a little 16 or so, and then next thing you know was at 24 under, was very much back into the tournament. Tomorrow they come back out to Brewster, and he's going to need to shoot double digits no matter how we look at it.
And last year he shot at 8, the lead was at 11. It's only 3 back. He's currently 10 back.
A little bit of an interesting change to do the back-to-back Brewster rounds and then back-to-back Fox for the weekend. I don't think they've ever done that before at the GMC.
It might just be from an asset perspective, right? So now you just got this course set up, play it both times, reset Fox for the
and
weekend.
Certainly Fox is the easier course for a big old group of spectators. So just something to note, not necessarily super important to the end of the tournament. Maybe gives a little boost to the guys that feel more comfortable in the woods, can get to the halfway point.
He's turned this over. This could go out of bounds. Oh, it ends up pushing right on tilt. Gannon Burr, GMC.
What's up, guys? Anthony Barella here. I'm super excited to announce my first signature bag, Anthony Barella Signature Series AX6, in partnership with Grip and Discraft. To have my first signature bag is honestly just a dream come true. I've always worn a Grip bag ever since I got one for Christmas when I was 12 years old, and 13 years later, I finally got my first Signature Series bag, and it just goes to show that hard work pays off.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at powerdga.com.
Hi, my name is Garrett Gerthy, and I use the Double G Compact Cart. I choose the Compact Cart because I don't use too many discs in competition. The Compact Cart is just the perfect amount of discs. It's nice to have a small compact cart. It's lighter, it's maneuverable, and with the materials being nice and weather resistant, this cart is absolutely perfect. I'd recommend the Compact Cart for juniors, beginners, and mold minimalists.
This isn't just a bag, it's the MVPX1. I designed it with Discraft and Grippy Q to be the most advanced disc golf backpack ever made. It's packed with the features I need and built to perform at the highest level. And now it's here in a bold new purple colorway. The MVPX1, the future of disc golf on your back.
Welcome back. Commercial free throughout the rest of the round, thanks to our friends at 1010 Discs. It's crunch time, and I think that's to put it lightly on behalf of Gannon Burr at this point, right? He's got work to do.
And we're about to go to the 17th, which is playing at even par for the day. Not an easy birdie there. And look at this. Antela is going to take the backhand on the left side. First time we've seen this today.
Worked pretty well.
It really did. A birdie for Macbeth would not change his position as far as the lead card's concerned. He's on chase currently.
Maybe an ace gets it done.
It would.
Yeah. Not this time. Going to be a tough putt, but he's been putting really well.
And we're taking a look here at the birdie zone by our friends at Boda Brothers.
No argument from me. You got to get up there in the area of that bridge, somewhere where you can see the pin. I just don't see people getting up and down blind around that corner with as protected as that green is. So far, I love what I'm seeing with this new tee pad. I was really looking forward to see how it played and going to see some more tomorrow. But I think you can see right there, 400 to the beginning of the zone. So it takes a pretty powerful, precise shot. You're not going to get away with mid-range most likely.
Yeah, and like I said, with Big Germ's shot, he threw it about 380 feet. That's just the very back end. That 400, probably about 20 feet into the zone. Yeah, and Germ was at the edge of the zone. Because if he was 20 feet short of that, he would have been blocked off.
The potential advantage with that perfectly controlled forehand that he threw, pulling right opens up the gap. Yeah. Swinging in early left puts you down in that pit that we saw Gossage in.
Last year, this hole would have played in the top 3 easiest holes on the course. You know, today, averaging even par. I think a really successful change for Jeff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's great. But maybe a little too straight, a little far right.
Yeah, I'm eager to see. I still haven't seen enough throws off this tee to really understand where they're ending up. But that was a very straight drive.
Yeah, I like the angle of this a little better than what we just saw because this is going to get some skip. Just barely inside of where you'd want it. And we were talking about the birdie zone. I officially do like board games, in case you guys were wondering. I know I've been talking trash about them all year long, but I do love Birdie Pro. I love the board games. I was just paid to say otherwise, so here we are.
Anything for a buck. Right
Yeah, I'm a sellout all day long.
That got up to flat. Does it have the energy to clean the corner? Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's the best one we've really seen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that catcher's mitt that I think is what I'm going to coin it, where we saw Ezra get to.
Mm-hmm.
That was just about pin high with where Calvin ended up right there. With how squirrely Gannon's been off the tee, yeah, an errant shot here could kick left, right, and it could be bad. He's got to clean one off, though, here.
Looking good.
Yeah.
It's hitting up on the hillside on the right.
Yeah, you can see that little elevation that was there. That was what he just hit off of. We can see that just off the tee, way down there at the end.
And the birdie bid doesn't go in for Antala. He'll finish with a par.
Yeah, you're right. Makeable putt here.
Putters look good all day for Macbeth.
Must have been at least four from outside C1 today. He was really solid.
Yeah, 3 of 5 from Circle 2 today.
And then one of them might have been a outside C2.
Yeah,
that was the one on hole 2, which is 73 feet.
4 makes from outside 10 meters.
Man, a really good looking chase card tomorrow with Greg Barsby, Paul Macbeth, Adam Hammis, and Eagle McMahon. That's a star card there. Really looking forward to tomorrow's golf, man. I mean, what a day we saw from Ezra, but like I said out here, it's always that hard reset when you come right back out to play Brewster. You have what you just did in your hard memory, and you have to put that behind you because this course is going to present new challenges for you tomorrow.
Saying you got to like refresh your RAM,
yeah,
in some way or another.
Yeah, I'm using a lot of technical terms there, Terry.
That's why I have an IT degree. Throw things like that out there.
All right, so now we're getting a beautiful view of what they're left with. This is basically where Germ was. Germ was just at the left side of your screen, corner right there. Relatively easy shot, but we talked about it earlier. If you're short at all, you can get into those woods on the left side.
And in years past, every other iteration we've seen, after a good drive, it was basically jump putt into the pin. So this is great, forcing guys to actually throw a shot. Isaac making it look about as easy as a jump putt, but that was probably 220 feet.
Exactly, yeah. That's why like Memorial always rated so high.
Yeah, just able to go to a standstill there. I think that says a lot about his confidence in that shot, but also sort of the distance that they have left. Right around that 270 foot-ish.
Yeah, I might even think a little closer.
Because if you figure the drives went about 400.
Sure.
You know?
It's always hard. Yeah, you're right. It's always hard to tell with the breaking par fours, like how they've been measured. And
true.
But yeah, somewhere in there for sure.
That's overcooked.
Gonna have to earn it.
Good little kick there. Just brushing off the branch there. an immediate early release. That was a very overstable disc. He needed to pop that with more angle down the center of that gap. He had it high left, and it just was working left immediately.
And I would think physically impossible to make it from where he just ended up. It's going to be a little pitch around the corner, I would guess.
I think this is the best tee shot we've seen on camera, at least. Still have to make a putt.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see one up into where they're walking now. I think that's kind of the perfect shot. You start to get something to break just a little earlier, kind of the power that Isaac and Gannon had, but just a little bit of fade at the perfect time. Keep you off that right side of the road, maybe get a little skip. But like I was talking about in years past, this was where guys were driving it. So,
and in years past, a lot of that right side stuff would all come into play. And by Jeff moving this tee pad back, you take that completely out of play now. Now it's all this short left stuff, high right, which I think is a good thing.
he might still want some of this. You think he's going to try to put it underneath?
I was just thinking that you'd rather be a little wide than short.
Look how crazy that is. Even in that situation, not even to think, oh, maybe I just pitch this one up, take a par. I mean, he's probably going to get away with it, but the confidence to be at a level where the calculus is like, I mean, why not just sling the forehand from a knee through that tiny gap and see if I make it? Because if he hits any of those trees, really tough putt. He worked himself in a little long, probably won't be that bad, but it just speaks to the level.
Even a 1025 rated pro is going to throw the loopy over the top.
Yeah, or just a little simple backhand.
Yeah, just
set,
a little
set up
skipper.
a 15-footer.
Yep.
Live to fight another day.
Calvin has the height and the speed. He's going to pick up the birdie on the 17th.
Yeah, I just think it goes to show you the mentality of a championship golfer, which is they're really not worried about taking second place. They're doing everything they need to do to win, and they don't have to really worry about much else. That's why you see it so aggressive, putting, going for it, that type of stuff.
Sure, but I just think the other side of that coin, unchecked aggression is not necessarily the guaranteed route to the win either.
I
Not
agree.
really saying that shot by Anthony was insanely aggressive. It's just there's a balance there. Sometimes you're out of position, and the prudent shot to win the tournament is to eliminate the big mistake.
You are not wrong, Sexton. All right, well, just one hole left after this putt from Isaac.
And Isaac is in for the birdie. And from a two-time world champ now to a six-time world champ, Ryan Earhart caught up with Paul McBeth after his round. Thank you.
Joining us now, Paul McBeth, round one at Brewster Ridge, 9 under par. You told me you were feeling a little bit under the weather earlier in the week. Today you said you felt a little bit better. How was it today?
Yeah, much better. Leading up to the tournament, I only had enough energy to get through like one round, and then I was pretty much in bed, sleeping pretty much most of the day. So today, feel good overall, but just still can't breathe through my nose, which is not uncommon anyways.
Well, talk about Brewster Ridge. After all these years, people are saying it's in one of the harder iterations that it is right now after all the changes that have been made. How is it playing for you after all these years?
Yeah, I mean, that par 5 up the hills, I feel like finally broken in, which is nice. The gaps that they intended are throwable now. But yeah, 17's a big change. That used to be one of the easiest par 4s on the course, and now it's arguably the hardest par 4 on the course. I don't know statistically speaking yet, but I'm sure it's going to be up there. But yeah, the course is fun. It's different. It kind of gives off that like Waco shorter kind of feel, but also it gives you the tight woods that something like Blackwood or Northwood Black is going to give you. So it's an enjoyable track.
How satisfied with a 9 under par are you at this course?
Not that satisfied. I think I was even through 5 or something like that. Very slow start. So I know, and then I had a par stretch on the par 3s in there that I should have gotten. So not too happy with the 9. I did have some good holes in there, but I missed a lot of holes that I should be getting.
Paul, any extracurricular activities here in Vermont after the round?
Got to go sign some autographs right now. We're going to drop some discs, I believe, and then nothing until the Fall Fest. So that's the big thing that goes on here in Vermont.
Paul, thanks for your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you.
Good to hear from Paul Macbeth. We'll see him on the chase card tomorrow, and wow, what a shot. Heimberg goes deep of the pin. If Gannon can get to 5 under, he'd be looking at somewhere around a tie for 41st place. And I'd say he's got at least 50-50 chances of that or better. But a tie for 41st is where we see 5 unders at the moment. Varela currently tied for 29th, sitting at 6 under.
Man, I really don't hate that low left side. Even from the backhand, we talked about it several times. That if you can hit that line, less things in the way.
Absolutely.
We have a chance to be in the top.
So actually, outside chance for both Isaac and Calvin. If they both birdie, they would, I believe, jump into the chase card. Currently, Calvin is sitting on that chase card for tomorrow.
Another one of those Isaac-only lines.
I was about to say, I did not expect him to throw that.
Like out wide, quick flip, and then running in on the heavy Anheuser with that little skidding. I can't think of anybody else who throws it quite that I can remember that throws it like he does in that way, where he's so likely to kind of snap it off on that slight Anheuser and just drag it across the whole flight.
Yeah, I think you would have seen a lot of players even go to a little chippy forehand there. And I think a lot of it has to do with where he grew up, playing in Georgia, in the woods. I think this putt will go a long way to making it. It's a bad day, but at least you end on a high note here for Gannon.
Just caught something halfway there, it looked like.
Man, that was crazy to see him reset his lower body right before he putted. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but his left leg just straightened out completely, and then he putted. All the practice swings were with a slightly bent left leg that was extended out. That was very interesting. Usually you don't see that.
Even with a make, and getting to 9 under, we'd still see Heimberg on the chase card. And he's done it. Kevin Heimberg closes out the round with a birdie.
Heimberg
9
is
under effort today.
Absolutely relentless. Like, he threw some of the worst shots I can remember him throwing today. You know, that where you're just like, oh, wow, he is just so off. And that's just how he always does it. You look up on the board and he's right there. Even his bad days, he still stays in contention.
Barella's going to finish with a birdie. Burr is in for the par. And Isaac cleans up.
Players have to finalize scores and do media. They're signing autographs. I'll go to the autograph tent after. It's right next to the food truck. We can wait right here for the groupie pass. There's a throw for dough on hole 18 of Fox. Anyone can throw. You can make an ace, win money. There's fly mark open. Players selling discs.
Did I just hear throw for dough? What kind of action out there? I know Ben and Jerry's is just down the road as well. We're done with round number 1. Immediate takeaway that you got there for us, Sexton.
I mean, you got everything you wanted, I think, out of this one. You got a struggling world number 1, which is always kind of a fun thing to see how he deals with that climb back. And then you got some old school names and some new names up there right in the top.
And I'll say this was classic Brewster. Absolutely classic Brewster. It can wreak havoc on some of the best players in the world. The playoffs are officially underway. I think some really exciting opening rounds for some players that are trying to play their way in too. So I think it was overall a great day.
Well, we're fortunate enough that we're going to be able to check in with Brian Earhart and have more analysis along with interviews from the likes of Gannon Burr, all of that and more for Tournament Central. We'll be right back.
This season, Team Discraft is making a statement, and the message is loud and clear. Discraft, built for flight. Legends built it. The next generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
The educational disc golf experience brings disc golf to schools and communities nationwide. With support from industry leaders and key partnerships, Edge has granted over $450,000 to help kids learn and grow through the sport of disc golf. Ongoing cuts to PE programming places schools in need of our help now more than ever. Every dollar donation puts more discs in kids' hands and smiles on their faces. Support Edge's mission today and help reach and teach the future of disc golf.
At the Paul Macbeth Foundation, we're obsessed with one thing: making disc golf more accessible to people around the world. But here's the thing, we can't do this alone. This September 20th, we're trying something massive. It's called Throw for More. Here's how it works. You get sponsors, play as much disc golf as you can, and every hole brings the sport to someone new. UDIS believes in what we're doing so much, they're donating 10 cents for every single round played that day. Your rounds on September 20th, they count. Register at throwformore.com.
Into Tournament Central as we are done with round 1 at the Green Mountain Championship, and we're taking a look at the Innova Hot Rounds, which includes, of course, Ezra Robinson not only tying the course record at 13, but maybe more importantly 3 clear of everyone else that's sitting in second right now. Aaron Gossage, Ben Calloway, along with Matt Bell, world champ Greg Barsby, along with Paul Macbeth, doing some work out there with their 9s. Heimberg and Hammes will round out our top 2 cards. Can take a look at some of the highlights that we saw from Ezra Robinson today. Caught up with him about halfway through his round. Putting the tee shot here on hole number 10.
I did not give this one the credit it deserved. I think we might have only seen it from the tee cam. I thought he had 40 feet. Got up there and it was absolutely parked.
Yeah, and I mean, he started 8 for 8. So he went to that back 9 already in great position. A couple big putts. That one right there was on 13. And this was on 14.
No surprise to see solid putting coming from Ezra. And a few long ones mixed in there as well. So a great day overall from Ezra. Congratulations on a 13 under and off to the lead. You know, you just said that Brewster gave us everything we maybe would want or expect from it. The question is, can someone like Ezra come back? How do you follow up a 13? You know, do you have that magic? Can you rinse and repeat for tomorrow?
I mean, thankfully, you probably don't need to. I think he's a level-headed guy. He's going to just go out there, play his best game. If he can repeat it, fantastic. He'll have a fistful of strokes on the field. But he's bought himself a great position in the tournament. He has a little bit more wiggle room than everybody else at this point. Obviously, still 3 rounds to go. But I don't think he's going to stress too much about following it up exactly. It's just going to be get out there, play your best golf, see what you can do.
That is certainly the mentality. I think that's a little easier said than done.
Sure.
As we have experienced that in this situation, but specifically at Brewster, I think it's more about a cumulative. Look at what you're going to get for the 2 rounds total, right? So can you get to 20, which would be a 10-10 sort of round? That's going to put you in a good position heading out to Fox Run, where you have to completely switch gears and play a course that provides a whole new set of challenges. So, yeah, I think Ezra obviously has the game. He can win in the woods. He can also win out in the open. So, yeah, good start for him. At the end of the day, a course record is still a special thing to celebrate.
All right, well, someone else. The hottest round that we saw on our final feature card came from Calvin Heimberg, and we've got some of the highlights where we can take a look and see what he was doing out on the course today. Calvin, you said it, started out somewhat slow in the first couple of holes, but then really started to put it together.
Absolutely. I think, you just can get complacent as a fan and start to expect perfection from these guys because they give it to us, or very nearly. So those really errant shots just stick with you from Burr and from Heimberg today. But the fight was there for Calvin Heimberg, and I think it usually is. He's kept his foot on the gas. That was a really fantastic shot on 7. Perfect shot on 9.
And perfect putting, 11 for 11 inside circle 1. He did hit 16 of 19 fairways and was 2 from 5 from C2. Really, the one big blemish was the OB shot on 2.
Great putt here as well by Calvin Heimberg, and we were able to catch up with him right after his round. Here he is.
Calvin Heimberg joins us now after round 1 here at Brewster Ridge. 9 under par effort. Satisfaction with the 9 under?
Yeah, it the score is good. I can't say it ever felt like I was just like in control of everything. I don't know. I had a good stretch of birdies there for a little bit. Like I had a couple stretches of 3 maybe, but even those, like I felt like I had to work for. Nothing really seemed like it was going super easy out there. Kind of longer range putts I just wasn't quite getting the nose angle right on them today. But yeah, super satisfied. Way better than I played yesterday. So, that's a huge positive, and just, hoping I can come out tomorrow and if I can shoot the same thing, that'd be great. But ideally just, feel a little better about the tee shots I'm placing out there.
You've played a lot of GMCs. You've played Brewster Ridge so many times. Do you essentially know every single disc that you're going to throw on each tee pad? Are you making any changes tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think I'm making any changes out there. I feel pretty confident that I know, I have the right game plan. It's just execution. And I think that's probably the case for most people out here because, the course hasn't changed too much. They made 14 a little easier and 16 a little harder, but they're basically the same shot you were going to be throwing before. So the only real change is 17, where you got to throw a driver as opposed to almost anything you want in your bag before.
Any extracurricular activities here in Vermont that you're going to get into tonight?
Nothing planned yet. Played a little putt-putt at the resort last night. I want to get over and play the putt-putt over in Stowe. There's one without bumpers. I forget what it's called. So hopefully some putt-putt one of these nights. I don't know if it'll be tonight, but that's on the agenda for one of the evenings.
Well, Calvin, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
And good to hear from Calvin. And I'm going to start with you on this one, Doss. We heard him openly admit and say he played much better than yesterday. You and I were witnessing that on live. Is there still anything? Is he building on it? Is it just a matter of flipping a switch? Is it, an extra half hour of sleep? What do you need to get comfortable out here, if you can?
Yeah, I don't think you really get comfortable at Brewster. I think you do what you need to do. I think he's actually said it well. He played better today than he did yesterday. That was obvious. He didn't play well at all through about 8 holes yesterday. Today he cleaned it up after 2. It was really just 1 and 2 that he didn't play well. Ultimately, everything was pretty good. But Calvin Heimberg has played well in this tournament. He does have top 10s, as he does in basically every tournament he's ever played. But if he can put a good one down tomorrow, you'd certainly have to look at him to really play well at Fox. He has so much power off the tee. He can keep it low. Even if it's windy, you would expect him to play pretty well out there.
Yeah, and what he did say is that if he shot another 9, he'd be seemingly content with that. You were just talking about a pair of 10s, pair of 9s, essentially the same thing. Someone who statistically has been out there doing plenty of domination is, of course, Gannon Burr, and what he's been able to accomplish has been incredible, leading in so many different categories. Is it shocking to see him have such a poor day today?
Yes and no. I mean, I think anytime the world number 1 plays poorly, it's a little shocking. But nobody can play perfect every single week. So I think I'm kind of on the fence about. I guess I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but I am surprised, just as I would be surprised anytime he misses what appears to be a simple shot, like this one right here. Ended up also missing that putt. So surprised is the word I'm going to use.
And this one, I think, took all of our breath away to see him miss by that much from that distance. And certainly the struggles were real today for Gannon Buhr. And it's not like Gannon Buhr came out and then shot 3 over. I mean, we all know Gannon Buhr's bad day is still usually pretty good, but when we're used to such excellence from him, as he's ultimately was going to walk away with a par on the final hole. And look at all the stats in that. Gannon Buhr leads or is one of the front runners in. You wonder, how does anybody beat him if you have all of those stats?
Yeah, I mean, just those top 2. I get the most birdies, I get the least bogeys. Come at me. You know, if you combine those 2 things, you're going to have the most points on tour.
Well, and he's caught up with Brian Earhart after his round. Here's what he had to say.
All right, joining us now, Gannon Buhr, world number 1. Round 1 is done here at Brewster. Not the greatest day to your standards. Just talk about it from your perspective.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, it felt pretty similar to how I felt going into Deagalo. Game didn't feel good. And, you know, I was able to kind of will it in there with Deagalo because I feel like you're kind of in the open and you can get away with more stuff, but when you're in the tight woods, you can't. And it really exposes your flaws. And today, my forehand and backhand coming into the day, the whole week had just been terrible. Like shanking, spraying, haven't been able to figure out what's wrong. It's not a lack of practice. I've been putting in a ton of work and trying to figure it out. But, yeah, I just couldn't seem to get anything going. I just had no confidence. It felt like I missed my angle by a little bit every hole. I wasn't throwing horrible shots, but they just weren't birdies. And I think I had like maybe 5 holes where I was putting for birdie from C1, which is just like unacceptable at this course, considering you should have 5 birdie putts from C1 in the first 5 holes, it feels like. So, yeah, just bad. Mentally, I mean, that was fine. It's just, like I said, my game was just bad.
Is this something that you feel like going into tomorrow that you have to go out to the field and fix something, quote unquote, or is it just something about getting some rest and waking up to a new day?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I feel like it's probably just going to be kind of just try to get through the round again. I doubt that I'm going to be able to make any like extreme changes that is going to make my game feel that much better. But, you know, I think if I can pop off a double-digit round the next day, you know, I could probably get within maybe 5 or 6 of the lead, which is no problem going into Fox Run. So I'm not out of it by any means at all. I could do what I did last year, the last 3 rounds, and just get really hot. So I'm fine. I'm obviously disappointed. I think might have been my lowest rated round of the year so far. So that obviously hurts, especially trying to get that ratings record. But maybe it'll drop off the rating. So, yeah, I'm okay. Just see what happens tomorrow and do my best moving forward.
Gannon, thanks for your time. We'll see you out there tomorrow.
Anything that you take away from what Gannon just shared with us?
It looked like he was feeling off, I guess, you know, so I think we kind of knew that. I'm not surprised to hear him say he still feels like he's in the hunt. I think he's won by far enough tournaments by now to know that a level head is going to give him the best opportunity to bring that game that we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, and I go back to the World Championship where it kind of didn't play well, stayed in it, and then at the very end just went zoom and was able to get that tournament by just 1 stroke. That is experience, right? That's the championship experience that Gannon Buhr has. On the other hand, he just said, my game feels horrible, spraying the disc all over. That was how Deagalo went down, and he still won it. Look, tomorrow's going to be so critical. He needs to at least get, I would think, to double digits and then roll the dice out at Fox Run because he does have the course record out there. He knows he can go low.
All right. Well, speaking of experience, we've got our lefty experience out there. Of course, we're talking about Brian Earhart. We're going to welcome him in. And Brian, thanks for hustling around out there both rounds today. My question would be, were there any surprises, anything that shocked you on the course? Good play, bad play, scores, anything that surprised you out on the course today?
There were a couple things. The first thing is I did 2 interviews with guys that shot 9 under par, Paul McBeth, Calvin Heimberg. And perspective is a very funny thing when you play in the woods. Sometimes it can feel like an incredible round that you got unlucky, And sometimes it feels like you had a terrible round, but you scrambled your butt off and shot the same number as somebody else. And it felt like that's what I got. Calvin said, 9 under, I'm extremely satisfied with that. And Paul looked at me like I had offended him with the question of if he was satisfied with a 9 under par. And these are both some of the best players on the planet. It's an interesting experience playing Brewster Ridge. Some days you feel like you're playing great and the numbers just don't reflect, and sometimes it's the opposite. The other thing that surprised me is Gannon's ability to look me in the eye after a terrible day and not panic. And I know he's gotten better and better with that over the years as he's matured. But I remember even just a couple years ago when he was really starting to find his groove, where a bad round would just ruin him. He'd go out to the field, he'd rip drives for 2 hours, he'd film his form, he'd be trying to figure out exactly what was wrong, and then he would share with everybody what he had fixed and what he's doing better. But it feels like he's like, okay, I had a bad day, I'm fine, I'm going to come back. And like Doss said, he didn't shoot a single hot round at the World Championships. He knows that these 4 or 5 round tournaments are marathons, and you just have to wait throughout the weekend for other people to slip.
Well, you're out there on the ground, Brian. We're here. I'll put you on the spot and say a leading candidate for OTB shot of the day. What jumps out in your mind in terms of best shot you saw today?
I would say Albert Tom on 18. Also, Gannon's putt on hole number 12 was ridiculous from my angle, and Gannon said he actually had to challenge some little tiny branches, and he got slightly redirected on them. So those are my 2 picks.
Yeah, we definitely did see Gannon. He actually hit several little branches on 12. That's a good one, Brian. Brian, I just want to quickly switch over and get your opinion on Ezra Robinson. You went up and caught up with him. You interviewed him. How was that interaction? I mean, it's a course record round on a very famous course, and this guy's won 2 Pro Tours this year. Is he ready to graduate and move up to one of these big ones? What's your thoughts on Ezra today?
He's such a momentum player, and this is a guy who I've seen absolutely demolish Northwood Black. He loves throwing hard through these woods, and he just looks elated right there. I mean, he has his fiance with him on the bag. Life is good. I think Ezra is in a great place. I think him and all of his people he's with are staying out there with some family out at Lake Champlain. It just feels like a really good time for him. And this course just seems to really make sense as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps this energy up, if he puts together another solid round. Maybe not a 13, but something pretty solid as well.
Oh, you got to think. He saw his brother. He was the first one to embrace his brother at the World Championships here a couple years ago. Maybe he knows it's his time at the Green Mountain Championships this year. Brian, whether it's putt-putt or something else to get ready for Fall Fest or whatever the fun is, you go out and find some of it tonight. Relax, and we're looking forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys. See you out there.
I guess I'll just quickly answer my own question. I mean, I think Ezra is ready.
Yeah.
I think he really is. Over the last 2 years, from a development standpoint, from where he started to where he is today, I think he is the most improved player. The wins that he's picked up, the average finishes that he's done, from an improvement perspective alone, I think he's there. And yeah, it's going to be a long way to get all the way to the finish line, but I think Ezra's ready. Tomorrow's a big step for him to back up a course record setting round.
One of the things that I always think about Ezra and Isaac, your older brother, Isaac, 4 majors, and yet I still cannot confidently say who will have the better career.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Ezra is that good.
I agree.
That you could imagine a world where he gets his 4 majors. Both of those guys are under 25 years old.
Yeah.
So that to me is incredible. That
Yeah,
your brother could
well
be
said.
at that level, and you could still sort of make an argument, hey, man, it's not too late to catch him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's
no
not
question.
too late for our OTB shot of the day either. We heard, Brian, what do you guys have to say about it? Doss?
Well, I kind of unfortunately spoke over his putt. I know all the fans at home are probably getting on me about it, but that putt on 2 with Macbeth, that it was 73 feet is what we had on the scorecard. That was a good jump start for him, and it led to a pretty good putting day for him. I'm gonna go with Macbeth.
And I got to piggyback Brian and go with that Albert Tom forehand, I
Yeah.
think, because I was trying to make the argument that route is good, and then Albert just hits the koozie. That was a phenomenal shot.
All right. Well, with that, let's take a look. This is our OTB Only the Best shot of the day. And I like this one as well. If I was going to have some input, it was this tiny gap.
Yeah, this was crazy.
And the payoff.
Can the putt be a part of it,
Yeah,
too?
I was just going to say, the fact that he also made the putt is what makes this shot of the day. If he doesn't make the putt, it's still a very impressive throw. But the fact that he could follow it up.
Oh, shots of the day.
Yeah.
OTB sequence of the day.
Yeah. Cheating on it a little bit, but it all works out. Hey, it's the playoffs. It's extra golf. We can do whatever we want. So we look forward to having you guys on the Disc Golf Network tomorrow. That's where the action's going to be throughout the rest of the week. So make sure you join us at 9 a.m. Eastern for the women's side. We got to thank Brian Earhart out on the ground along with Nate Doss, Nate Sexton. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you tomorrow for round 2 at the Green Mountain Championship.